In 2019, Michael X won the Wrestling Rundown Championship, taking the world by storm. But then, the virus attacked. These men promptly escaped from mental insanity by talking about the nerdiest shit on the internet, filmed in the Massachusetts underground. Today, still wanted by the people of YouTube, they survive as nerds, weebs, and dorks of fortune. If you have an obsession, if no one else can talk, and if you can subscribe to them, maybe you can hire the Indy Force.
I love it when a plan comes together.
And we're back! Oh my god, 3 Indy Forces in the span of a 7-day period? What?
Casey died.
Well, you
Found
see,
dead in Miami. Very sad. Very shocking. It's
Hey,
horrific.
Someone
All the
please say,
food left to spoil.
please put an F in the chat for Casey Gallagher.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. When this shit's warm, tastes like maple syrup.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste great when it's flat.
I never liked Mountain Dew Flat.
It's
You
okay.
used to like Mountain Dew Flat. That's actually funny, because now you don't, apparently. But
I used to
anyway,
drink
that's
Fanta
beside
when
the
it was
point.
flat.
I want a bonsai tree in my house so that way I can confuse my neighbors.
We have
Advantage. So
many
anyway.
things to talk about, and there's a lot of cool things. But we're actually going to switch up a topic because we were going to make this a little bit later on. But fuck it, we're going to start it off with it because it's fucking cool. So,
before we get into that, I want to do one quick shout out to Paul Haddad, the voice of Leon S. Kennedy in Resident Evil 2, has passed away over the past couple days. Just wanted to get that out there first, so that way we can give our little tribute to him.
and on top of that, there's actually another person that passed away, Howard Finkel as well. One of the greatest announcers of all time in pro wrestling died recently this week. So obviously, respect to them, and obviously shout out to 2 legends in their respective industries.
And these 3 goofy fucks that are on screen right now are probably going to try to entertain you in the past, I don't know, maybe 3.5 hours. And we're going to keep going. But for right now, we want to say that we enjoy their service as entertainers. And we hope that they at least lived full lives.
And that they're
At least live their lives to the fullest.
They fulfilled their lives, and that is good.
And hopefully they are in a better place now, creating a bunch of shit for God. So, which is true. Could you imagine if heaven exists? Could you imagine with all the people that passed away what heaven would look like now?
I have a theory.
Go.
The other day, me and my sister, we were watching Coco, And there was a scene where they go into heaven, but there's a border checkpoint, like a customs, and I was like, you mean to tell me that when I die, I still have to deal with fucking customs? At this point, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. When I die, put my wallet, my birth certificate, some money, my driver's license, my passport, just in case if I get this bullshit when I die.
Listen, here's what's going to happen. Here's what you have to do. You go into heaven, and you confuse the shit out of them for the next 10 minutes. They go, where are you from? What? I'm dead? How? You died in your sleep. That's the lamest way to go ever. I would have preferred, Viking funeral or dying at a buffet because I gained too much weight. I died in my sleep? That's not cool. They're the last cool person to die in their sleep.
Old people?
Interesting. Oh, old people.
They're the weak ones.
They're the cool ones.
They're the weak ones.
No.
They do not want to die out and cool.
That's not okay.
James, listen, if you heard on the news that I was killed by a bus after saving a family before they got run over, I died cool.
You died? No, I'd be, yes, but I'd be really upset because then you died via being hit by a bus and I'd be in tears.
Oh, Mike was a good man. Mike had a drinking problem. Oh, really? Yeah, he was hit by a Guinness truck.
Here's what would have been better. If you were to record yourself, like, moments before your death, just record, like, imagine if you were stuck inside the coffin and you would just fool everyone to thinking that you were alive inside the coffin.
So you play Pop Goes the Weasels. See, I want, in case if I die first, before everybody else that's here, I want somebody in this group to come as the Grim Reaper with the scythe, and whoever coughs at the funeral, bang the scythe down a point at the person that coughed.
I'll do it.
You both listen, but here's the catch: one of you has to be in a dick costume.
Okay, I'll still do it.
I'm talking about giant inflatable penis.
Good. I'll do it.
You won't do it,
dude. I'll be the Grim.
I'll be the dick.
You'll be the Grim Reaper. Or
Grim Ripper.
Whoever dresses up like the Grim Reaper has to sound like Grim from Billy and Mandy. So that way, inside the box, and everybody starts freaking their shit.
Dude, before you die, you gotta record a monologue of you doing anything that Billy says from Billy and Mandy.
Oh, I got a good one then.
Grim has come to destroy us all.
I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be Rolf, and the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna be inside the coffin. All you're gonna hear is
Rolf is going to fuck bitches. What the bitches, Kevin?
If anyone's gonna be Rolf, it has to be me. And Mike, you know why?
Because you're the son of a shepherd.
That is true. For
So
those of you who don't know,
wait, do a better Ed impression.
Yeah, I do. Ho 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 ho.
I just mate with the door open.
And my piece just went flaccid. Thank
That
you.
will never not be funny, Nico. So for those who don't know the story, we were just goofing around outside when Nikos just randomly...
It wasn't outside. It was near the commercial street bar area.
Yeah, we were outside.
Yes, we were outside, and you just randomly screamed, "Smoke weed every day."
Because you told me to.
The greatest thing.
If you
for some reason
give him money, would you?
You just lost your shit and nearly broke the
Dude, your Ed impression.
bench.
Because your Ed impression was just too on point.
Listen. We will put a link to that video in the slide. The world can see the.
I have that video saved. I can actually put this in the chat, so everyone can know.
I'll make an unlisted link and have people be able to go to it, so that way only
the most
handful of people can see the video.
It literally becomes the most popular video on your entire channel.
Smoke weed every day.
I masturbate with the door open.
Because I am grounded.
Did you just
They took your stairs? Yup.
I
Anyway,
remember from that night was Matt just laughing so hard he just kept tripping.
Hold on. I think I just broke Lillian. All I gotta do is look at her dead in the face and go, "Holy mackerel!" She's fucking done. She's fucking done.
Just imagine she's just flopping around.
Like a Magikarp.
Yeah.
Well, now we have a sound effect that
that's
James
what the Magikarp
masturbating
does.
live on a podcast.
Damn, James, I thought you were suffering from the effects of Mako poisoning. Shit.
No, dude, I'm drinking lemonade, not Mountain Dew. He's drinking Dew. But anyway, before we get into more meme fest here, we have a thing we got to promote because it's awesomes. And we wanted to save it for later, but we realized it's too cool and we should talk about it now.
So here's a question for you. Hold on, good sir. Let me put on the cool guy glasses and put you right back in 1990. With my goofy ass hat and really ridiculous, my really ridiculous voice.
Yeah.
Hey there, kids! Do you want to play classic NES games on your computer? Maybe you want to go play some Sega Genesis and rock till you can't stop. Maybe you want to play some Super Nintendo, some Zelda CDI. Maybe you want to play some N64, maybe PlayStation 1. You can on PlayEmulator.com. You heard me. PlayEmulator.com.
I'm literally the Crazy Taxi guy. I am doing the fucking voice from Crazy Taxi, and I hate this.
Whoa. We're going to keep on going. That's what we're going to do right now. Yeah. Making that money.
So tell us more about this website.
Yeah, please, Epic Guy.
Here we go. Let's start with let's go with the good old-fashioned SNES. We're talking about Super Mario World, Super Mario Odyssey, which is a modded, hacked game. You can play Super Mario All-Stars, Kirby Superstar, and Super Mario Kart. You can play all these classics right now. Can you believe it? Right now. You don't have to wait later. Wait a couple seconds for it to load, and you can play it. You got a controller? Fuck it. You can use it.
Okay, if I keep doing that voice, I'm gonna die.
You will.
For the record, what he means by you can play games with a controller is if you typically have an Xbox One, I notice is probably the easiest.
Anything that can use a USB.
Anything that can use a USB, you can use as your controller to play any of these games. So yes, that means an Xbox or a PlayStation remote will work. All you need to do is just hook it up and play the games here. And yeah, there's
classic you have to hook it up
games.
after you've installed the game.
You need to have the game ready to go. It needs to initialize. You need to get to the start screen, plug in your remote, and then it will work.
And then there's also stuff for the Game Boy Advance. You have a bunch of Sega games.
James, I'm gonna break it down really quick. We're talking about from Atari 2600 to PlayStation 1.
Yes.
That's a lot of shit. Now, the PlayStation X, the PS1 does not have a shit ton of games on there yet because emulation on that thing is a fucking nightmare.
Yes.
But hey, you can get it to work if you do it right.
But mostly, there is a lot of awesome games, including the original Super Mario Brothers for the original NES. We got N64. You can play Super Mario 64. I have already. Super Mario Kart. You can play Pokemon Stadium, Paper Mario, Mario Party, WWF No Mercy, Spider-Man.
Hold on. You're giving No Mercy not enough credit. You got to play WWF No Mercy.
You also have Doom 64 on here.
And ironically, Resident Evil 2.
Toy Story 2. There's so many damn games for that. We also have the Game Boy Color. You can play games for that as well. They even have, they pretty much have every game that you could think of on here.
We're talking about Game Boy. We're talking about DS. We're talking about every Capcom fighter that's ever come out. We're talking about the PC Engine, the Virtual Boy. By the way, Virtual Boy doesn't kind of work, and I think that's just an emulation problem. Maybe it's just a computer thing from my end. But there's just a shit ton of stuff. James, can you click the games icon more than anything? Don't fucking put in Pac-Man.
I'm just showing that you can play Pac-Man as well if you guys
want. No shit, you can play Pac-Man. It was on the NES screen. It was there. Just
In
hit
summation,
games.
all games for free.
Yes, for free, and you can play these games. We'll put a link in the description for anybody that actually wants to play this game. They also have fan-made games, as you can tell by this. They've just have a bunch of games that are emulated that have essentially every other thing that you
That
can
was
think of.
right in-
Oh
that
my
was
God,
fucked
there's
right
Dungeons
in
and Dragons.
He burped right into the mic.
I am sorry.
There's skateboarding. There's Mike Tyson, Mortal Kombat, Spider-Man.
I
Fire
can't believe
Emblem.
I'm gonna use this line. You can play solitaire with your friend or play Mortal Kombat with the kid from Thailand. That's the next thing that would be amazing on here is trying to get that cross-platform play.
You got-
Right now, it's good as it is. If you're looking for it, listen, it's quarantine. We know you're sitting at home. As a fan of maybe you're a video game fan. Maybe you're like strategy, chess, maybe a classic beat 'em up. Maybe you're a wrestling fan. There's a shit ton of wrestling games on here. But
So
this is
many.
a
Try and
website
finish
for
the Lion
you.
King game.
And they even have fan-made games, as I pointed out as well, where people will go into these actual titles that exist in this game, mod it, and then play it. In fact, I'll show one of them off. I don't know where it is, but there's Shadow in Sonic, which is basically Shadow in the Sonic.
You know
original
what's
game.
sad too? That plays better than base Sonic.
I know.
Yeah, it does.
I know, it's weird.
But anyway, and as an example for the big one for everybody that's a Sega set as a Sega Genesis fan, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is absolutely playable and does work.
Yes. Dude,
Now
there's
you
so
will.
many
have
games.
I
Oh my
will
God, they
be
have
honest,
WWF Raw for the Sega.
and it sucks.
I bet.
But can you do me a favor?
Streets
but
of
James,
Rage. Oh
But
my
James-
God.
Yes, but James, you forgot about one.
What?
Please go into the search and type in WrestleFest.
WWF WrestleFest.
Yep.
Right there, boys.
It works.
It's
So yeah, if you're looking for a game, if you're looking for something that just to keep your time going, if you're like, I want to play every Pokemon game that I can get my hands on, or I want to play fan versions of Pokemon games, you can absolutely do that. There is so much shit on here you'd need to play this fucking emulated website. Now, if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, there is a contact section below which has their email in case if you're like, hey, for some reason this isn't working. Could it be on my end? Could it be on your end? What's going on? How come this isn't working correctly? What's the issue? You can contact them and see what's going on.
Yes, exactly. And here's another thing too, and I'll show this off. And I'm rating this 5 stars because I love me some Mario World. But I'm gonna bring this game up, and I'm gonna show you what you can do when you're playing games. You can actually save your progress on here. So my progress on Super Mario World right now is right here saved, and it will bring you to the place that you're at right now. So
Pretty much, James, let me break it down for you. You have save states. You have the ability to modify your controls if you want to do something specific with button layouts. If you want to connect a controller, you can absolutely do that. There are tons of controllers that you can connect to a PC to make it work even better. There is stuff that you can do. Recommendation, though, let the game take its time when it's trying to load. Get yourself a glass of water, maybe a drink, and then just wait. It takes a little bit to load everything in, but it's worth it because these games are fantastic. They work as proper as they should.
It is worth the wait to play.
So since we have the ability to, why don't we get on to the first actual topic since we had to move this whole thing here forward.
Yes, of course. I figured we started off with that because it's awesome, and you can download any game you want to play.
Well, you don't
provide the link. Well, you can't download, but
you're not downloading, James. You're going on. Listen, you're going to confuse people because you're not a gamer, and you're an idiot. That's a different story, though. You go on the website, you select a game. It takes a couple seconds for it to get to the actual game itself. As soon as you get in, plug in a remote and play, and go right ahead and have fun.
yes,
It's that simple. I would recommend playing it. I've been playing it nonstop for the past week and a half. It's totally worth it.
yeah, same here. It's
For
great.
God's sakes, I've beaten about 4 classic games over the past couple days. And
And
I'm
I
doing
just got into it just not even an hour ago.
Because we showed it to you.
It is really fun. It's worth the wait. There's no hassle. It's really
and you don't have to sit in line or go on or have to deal with trying to buy it from somebody at an extremely ridiculously overpriced value.
Nope.
You get on the website, you grab your game, and you play. It's a game room game.
It's great. And you can do Let's Plays. And little FYI, we might do Let's Plays because of this emulator. Wink, wink. So we'll provide a link in the description. Go play all those classic games and have some fun. That being said, let's get on
how Ring of Honor is somehow better than WWE.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's... So Ring of Honor.
You know what? And here's the thing I looked up. It's not just Ring of Honor. It's New Japan. And it's Impact.
Yes. And the fact that Impact is doing and WWE can't is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked to think about, actually. So anyway.
So
let's bring them up to speed.
Uh-oh.
Are canceling events and paying their athletes to actually take the time off at home.
Yes, they are still paying their athletes to sit at home, which is smart because they know that if they do that, they won't be making unnecessary expenditures to run shows with no people in attendance.
Now, I know a lot of people are going to be, but you guys keep saying that we should support AEW during this time of grace.
Yes. All right, here's the difference. If you're going to do shows, there's a way to do it without putting your employees at such a risk. It's impossible to fucking do, and it's called show 2 months in advance.
Just tape everything. Oh, you have a match. You sanitize yourself down. You get out to the ring. You do it again. Done. As long as people are healthy and clean, that's all I care about.
Yep. And it's not like they're bringing in Jim Ross. It's not like they're bringing in Jim Ross, who has a bunch of health complications, and Taz, who also has a bunch of health complications, to the arenas. Jake the Snake Roberts, same thing, and a bunch of other old veterans. They're doing it with the guys that can afford that. If they do get sick, they can be quarantined and they can get better in 7 to 14 days.
Yes.
That's what they should be doing here.
I mean, for God's sake, dude. I mean, have you heard about the recovery story? The guy who was in a 32 fucking day coma who woke up and was able to fight the virus off?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, like, it's getting to that point where we're finally able to fight this thing off and fight this thing hard. But as I said, and we'll keep it on this train of thought, Ring of Honor, which, let's be honest, is not that popular of wrestling show. Compared to
AEW right now, absolutely not.
And Impact as well, which, let's be honest, hasn't been relevant for years. The fact that these low money making wrestling shows
are doing it
paying their athletes with all the canceled events and everything else is amazing. And the fact that WWE can't is fucked.
You want to know the stupidest thing too? I think New Japan, and this goes to show you how dumb our government is. WWE is classified an essential business to allow it to be running shows, which is dumb. In New Japan, their government told them to shut down, and they partnered with the government long before Vince ever did. And their employees that work for New Japan are actually getting paid for their time off, because this is something that they couldn't control. So, again, New Japan's doing this right. Fucking Impact's doing this right by doing what AEW's doing. Fucking AEW's doing it right. Ring of Honor's doing it right. And then you got the biggest supposed wrestling company in the fucking world in WWE not doing at all right by their athletes. And that's where I say, yeah, I'm boycotting the show. I stand by what I said last episode. Why the fuck am I going to support something that is putting wrestlers in absolute danger, unnecessary fucking danger?
Agreed. I agree. And that's the whole thing with this. It's one of those situations where they have no excuse to even go, we just don't have the money to do it. Well, if you didn't have the money to do it, why would you hire all these fucking athletes? Well, it was a bad business venture. Well, if it was a bad business venture, how did you not know it was going to be a bad business venture? You should have the foresight to know that shit might happen in the future. Maybe we shouldn't hire so many people. Some people are popular, some people aren't popular. Well, it's your job to make those people that aren't popular by doing interesting stuff with them. Yeah, but listen, man, I got a $50,000 car downstairs. I'm gonna go bang my fucking secretary in it. Oh, well, that's fantastic. Here's the question for you though: who paid for your car?
Yeah,
it wasn't you. Fuck no. Well, I work as hard as I can. You're a story writer. Your ass is just to sit there and Google facts nowadays. It's not writing compelling shit.
About
it's
this
just
whole
fucking
thing.
The same nonsense every week and week in.
Here's the upsetting part about this is that there's even wrestlers like Joey Janela has put WWE on fucking blast for doing this, and rightfully so. You got AJ Styles who was on Mixer, and he bullshit, and you could tell he was trying to bite his tongue, but he wanted to fucking cuss WWE out because they fired his best fucking friends. They were guaranteed, by the way. I want to point out that while I thought they weren't important as far as their characters, because they weren't really using them right, let's be real, but as far as they were guaranteed 5-year deals for $1 million every year. And because of this, WWE used this as an opportunity to make cuts to meet their quota for their earnings report, essentially.
Right.
Which is stupid, because they wouldn't be going bankrupt regardless, even if they kept those people.
But here's the problem. They're only doing this so that way they can get the tax write-off. That's all they're doing this for.
Right.
You're right. We're an essential business. We are an essential business. To who? Let me ask you a question, James. Do you know? Let me ask you this. Would you have preferred if they said, during this whole crisis, we're going to make the WWE Network free while this whole thing is going on?
No. Dude, I wouldn't care.
I would have been fine with that. No. Let me put it like this. It's either WWE Network free, and they're able to do advertisements and make money off of those, or athletes still going to the events while this thing is going on in fucking Florida. Out of all places, in Florida.
I'll just share my screen real quick and show what it says. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't care if it's free or not. How about that? It's this fucking show. Like, again, this is a shit show of a company that is putting their former employees at complete risk after they promised them. And the worst part is, it's like, it's so unethical because it's not a two-way street with their contracts. They can cancel it at any fucking point without notice and fuck any security that they have planned over. Kurt Hawkins, for example, who I thought wasn't important, and he isn't necessarily in storyline, but I didn't realize, that was before I knew his wife is fucking pregnant. You fired a man who has a wife that is pregnant.
That goes to show.
Do you not realize how shitty that looks? I'm sorry. This company doesn't know their own head from their ass at this fucking point.
Well, they don't know their ass from their elbow.
Either way, they don't know anything. They don't know what the fuck PR is at this point. I'm convinced they don't know shit. If they had
you
any
think at this point
sense,
PR gives a damn?
Dude, if they had any sense, even from a financial fucking standpoint, what the fuck do you think that this $400 million that you saved with all these fucking cuts is gonna fucking do? Honestly.
He probably just has it. Just keeps it.
Yeah.
Probably dives into it like Scrooge McDuck.
We're beating a dead horse here. We have talked about this. We have already said that they're shit.
I'm just shocked that
I am not
independents can do it better than
exactly.
the biggest
And
company.
that's the problem. And that's the crux of this conversation. Is the fact that an independent contracted company has outbeaten a multi-million-dollar huge corporation with an app, multiple app games, fucking several DVD sales, several merchandise sales, toy sales, fucking you name it, WWE's marketed it.
Yep.
Here's your Stone Cold Steve Austin bar of soap. Here's your Dwayne The Rock Johnson plush. Here's a John Cena box of Fruity Pebbles. Here's your Mankind loofah.
Yep.
Here's your WWE sweat figures that you put a bottle of sweat in them, you push a button, and they sweat. Here's the fuck?
Here's a sweaty armband from a jobber that will most likely never come back.
Here's WWE minifigures that are sold and marketed towards children for an app game that gambles money. Listen. If you disagree with us, that's fine. That's your perspective. You can do that. Yeah. That's your opinion. If you go, I think that they're a great company. They do so much good work. We're not denying that they do good work when it comes to charities or anything like that. We are saying that they are a running machine that has no heart and soul anymore and just keeps pumping out the same fucking garbage week in, week out in order to profit margins. It isn't storylines that are interesting and smart and fun. It's A is fighting B because
of an attack backstage or betrayal.
No, it's more like this. A is fighting B, and I gotta Google the reason why. I didn't find the reason. Bobby Lashley is having sex with Rusev's wife because of... And that's my example.
Yeah.
Is the fact that nobody can... That's the one major one. Like, that's a big storyline that I could sit there and say, why? And if you can't give me an actual reason, then it was dumb and stupid. Listen, I've dealt with the Undertaker storylines my entire life. I know dumb and stupid. We're guy who could summon lightning bolts, appear from flames, take over the body of a WWE announcer, and
teleport.
Can teleport.
Here's the thing.
And that made sense.
Even minus the storyline shit, like, it's just immoral, inhumane behavior on how you treat your fucking employees.
It's just being a shithead just for money. That's all it is.
It's so greedy, man.
It's just being an immoral, ridiculous, misogynistic, moronic pig of a human being who sits back and sits there and says, hey, it's okay. I need to make money. And the only way I'm going to do that is A, marketing. B, go back to A. Because that's all we know how to do now.
If this boycott really works, I
hope it does.
This company is going out of business. I hope
McMahon again, I hope they do what I'm doing right now, which is not watch a single thing WWE related until this. On strike. Don't do what I do. Any wrestler that's watching this from there, go on fucking strike. I'm serious. Be serious about this time. Fucking walk.
Here's what my demands would be if I was in their shoes. Either A,
healthcare first.
Healthcare first.
Number one, and financial security for whatever the fuck they offer them for a contract.
Here are the big three. Number one, financial security and healthcare. Number 2, paid expenses. They should not have to pay for every single thing that they're doing. Their hotels should be paid for. Their vehicles to get around should be paid for. And number 3, Vince McMahon has to step down.
That's the big one.
That's the biggest one of them all.
Yes.
Because guess what? 1 and 2, these 2 here will work when 3 fucks off his tower.
No more chances. No more chance. Give him none.
No, just say.
And if his company goes, and honest to God, if his company folds, it's because you guys did what needed to happen, and that was strike.
Dude,
you still have AEW. You can go there. You have Ring of Honor. You have all these other places. You don't need to work for WWE.
No, you don't. Dude, New Japan Pro Wrestling is the hottest commodity in the world right now. It's the hottest thing in the world.
Uh-huh.
And it's not shocking because it's some incredibly... They hire the best athletic athletes that they can. I know some
they're able to have homegrown.
Right?
And they're able to have homegrown talent better than WWE can.
I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. I would rather see Will Ospreay every week than Seth Rollins.
It doesn't even matter. Well, you know what?
That's my example.
Here's the thing. Seth, I'm convinced that he's only doing it because they're telling him to. He shouldn't have to do shit. Yeah. What the fuck is he going to get out of it? His best friend just got fucking... His best friend, one of his best friends, literally has just been blackballed. Blackballed from the entire fucking industry.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote best friend.
Like his own best friend is... Roman Reigns, Joanna Wahi, isn't even being mentioned.
No, because fuck that.
What?
Because he doesn't make any money.
Because he left WrestleMania.
Because he should have. I'm sorry, but
exactly.
You should.
I have no problem against that dude leaving. None of us do. But the fact that you're getting blackballed for that shit, for doing the right thing,
that's what it feels like.
This logic.
I don't know. People are so there are mixed reviews on that report. They're saying that Roman is half are saying that Roman is just being blackballed because of walking out of Mania. The other one is saying that they don't want to mention him until this whole thing blows over, and then they bring him back randomly. But it's just this company is just selfish, and the wrestlers need to take a fucking stand here. And here's another thing: you talk about 3 provisions. Here's a 4th provision. Have some semblance of creative goddamn freedom.
Agreed.
I know. They are nothing without the wrestlers. I don't care what anybody wants to tell me. The wrestlers are what put the fans' asses in the seats when a pandemic isn't going on.
Listen, you can be the greatest salesman in the world, but in this profession, specifically in the professional wrestling world, it is the athlete that the person is going to see every single fucking week.
Yep.
It is not Joey the cameraman. It's not Derek the night guard. It's not even fucking Wing Chun himself who's running everything behind the scenes. It's not. It's the guy who is athletically gifted and is willing to every single night, when he can, put his body and his life on the line to entertain people. A wrestler could die every second in a match if one thing fucks up.
And most wrestlers don't live past 40.
Most of them don't. ECW is the greatest example of that. How many of their alumni are literally dead?
Yep.
That's the example. And that's the whole thing. Those guys signed up to do that. And that's what they wanted to do because they wanted to get their names out there. And they wanted to be the best that they possibly could in their industry. But when we live in a world where Vincent Kennedy motherfucking McMahon controls one of the biggest wrestling markets in the world and wants wrestling done his way, it's going to be like this. Well, the face is going to fight the heel. The heel is going to do something shitty. And then the face is going to come back later. But then the heel is going to keep coming after the face. And it doesn't end. Storylines for Vince McMahon do not end. It just keeps fucking going.
He's trying to make a saga out of these stupid storylines that have no end.
No. Let me ask you a question. How many times has Kane worn the mask and taken off the mask? But then put the
Plenty.
mask back on?
Too many times.
3 times. He's worn
Yeah.
the full face mask, the half face mask, no mask, half face mask again, full face mask with half face mask on. What? It's just dumb decisions. That's all it is. It's stupid, dumb decisions. You had the Big Show at his prime, and you didn't use him. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, continue venting about it if you want. I'm gonna go get some food.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. It's just stupidity. Mick Foley went out every single night during the Attitude Era and prior to the Attitude Era, every single night, and put his body on the line. And he kept doing that all the way up to TNA Impact.
Mm-hmm.
The man still had stuff in him, but WWE said, we just can't do anything with you. People feel bad watching you wrestling. But in TNA, he got his career spike back, and it was one of the best time periods in his whole career because he went up against Abyss, and it was fucking brutal. It
was radical.
To shine. It's the Vincent Kennedy McMahon problem of take a guy, take this huge arsenal of moves that he has, this huge fucking arsenal of moves, and do this with it. Try to turn it into a refinement. But the problem is, it looks more like this, and it doesn't work. It's all fucked up, and it just doesn't work. It's not 1996 anymore. No crowd in the world wants to sit there week in, week out, watching Stone Cold nowadays. Hit it, well, unless it's Stone Cold, come down the ring, kick the gut, hit the stunner every single match. It's a different time period.
Yeah, of course. It's like he wants to bring back that time period back, but
dude, he wants to
those years are gone.
Dude, he wants to bring back the 1985 fucking Golden Age era. He wants to bring back the classic era. Super hard.
It's like he wants to bring back those fans, but he doesn't realize all those fans are gone. They're gone. Now yeah, exactly. Now we just have these new fans that are sending mixed messages about this.
Because you need to appeal to some format of an audience. And you need to keep updating that format every single year. But you don't update it so much where the nowadays fan gets confused of what the fuck's going on, and the classic fan is going, what the hell's happening? And you have them like this. They're on two opposite ends of a spectrum, and they're crossing somewhere, but it's not working. They need to be more like this. Here, and then they come together. That's how it's supposed to work. That's not how this is working. It's
obviously.
And then it's over here, and then for some fucking reason, they can't do this. It's all this middle ground nonsense that makes no sense. So since James is gone, and I've had my fill of WWE rant. I've had my fill.
Yep.
What is going on in the world where Captain Price would be terrified for the fact that Chernobyl is on fire?
Oh, God. So I just got here.
Oh, boy. Thankfully, he wasn't there at the time. Good Lord. That would have been... That mission would have been foobar if that happened.
Situation.
I got pizza.
By the way, we have a James.
What?
Third video.
Yo, your microphone's all screwed up. What happened?
What do you mean, Nikos? You can hear me fine.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, repeat.
So we're talking about the Chernobyl wildfires.
Oh.
Nikos,
2020 is coming for our throats, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually shared that article I think it was like 2 weeks ago, if I can find it.
You actually shared it about a week ago.
Yes, we did.
We're trying to get more topics, and then it turns out, oh fuck, Chernobyl's on fire. But
yeah,
to be fair, the radiation density in Chernobyl is ridiculously high. So I'm
Yeah.
not 100% shocked that Chernobyl went on fire. Like I know when a lot of people go, oh, well, what about the Australian bushfire that happened? Yeah, but how much of Australia does it not rain?
Mm.
Where
Well,
it just doesn't rain.
let's also point out the fact that there are fucking eco-terrorists that fucking caused the goddamn fires in the first place to prove a point.
Prove what point? You burnt down half of your goddamn country, moron.
Mm-hmm.
So Chernobyl is on fire. So Chernobyl, if nobody knows, nuclear wasteland.
Yeah, it's been like that since 1980, I believe, 6.
It's either 1985 or 1986, but it is one of the big tells of the world that we should not use nuclear weaponry at all.
If you want more info on that, watch the HBO documentary. They cover that really well.
They absolutely cover that very well. And if you want to get more into the personal perspective, I would say do some personal research, try to get more information, use Wikipedia as a background, and then try to go find those articles and try to figure out the story on your own. But Chernobyl is just a big nuclear wasteland where there are like 3-headed fish and fucking dogs running all over the place that are nuclear like central. They are so nuked it's not even full. They don't even have fur, most of them.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Chernobyl is a hellhole.
It was actually one of the first things I've ever learned because it was during a time where we nearly nuked our own planet.
Twice. Not once, twice. So Nikos, go right ahead.
Sure. So again, found this article a week ago. It was posting on the New York Times by Maria Varenikova. It's called Chernobyl Wildfires Reignite, Stirring Up Radiation. So, in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, firefighters have struggled to control wildfires burning through radioactive forests in the abandoned territory around the Chernobyl nuclear plant, where radiation levels are considerably lower than they were immediately after the 1986 accident, but still pose risks.
Yes.
Radiation readings near the wildfires, where smoke is swirling about, have been elevated, with the wind blowing towards rural areas of Russia and Belarus for most of the past week. The wind shifted Friday towards Kiev, the Ukrainian capital, but authorities say the radiation level is still normal in the city, whose population is about 3 million. But Saturday's strong winds could spread the fires to the remnants of the nuclear plant and the equipment that was used to clean up the disaster, said Katerina Pavlova, the acting head of the agency that oversees the area, in a telephone interview. At the moment, we cannot say the fire is contained, Ms. Pavlova said. After the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, authorities created an area around the plant known as the Zone of Alienation, a rough circle with a nearly 18-mile radius fenced off with barbed wire. Access to the zone is limited to workers who manage the site and tourists who take guided excursions. Over time, radiation has settled into the soil, where its half-life ticks away mostly harmlessly. But the roots of moss, trees, and other vegetation have absorbed some radiation, bringing it to the surface and spreading radioactive particles and smoke when it burns. Already in... Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
It's pretty fucking bad, dude. We're talking about nuclear wind. Literally, the wind can kill you if the radiation density is high enough.
At first, and this was also mentioned in the miniseries, they said it was around 3.6 Röntgen, which is basically the level of radiation. At the time, the authorities thought it wasn't bad. But when they went there to the reactor 4, they realized it wasn't 3.6 Röntgen. It was around 300,000. So imagine how fucked you would have been if you lived there.
I want you to put it in a perspective, James. Have you ever put an egg in a microwave? Just an egg.
Cracked or uncracked?
Either or. Have you ever just put an egg in a microwave? So you know what? So here's how nuclear radiation kind of works with the same thing that micro radiation also works. what it's going to do is it's going to heat up and change things on a molecular structure. And then at a certain point, because microwaves work on a frequency wave, which is minute radiation, but it's not super terrible for the human body. Depending on how high the radiation is, it goes from maybe like the egg popped a little bit to the egg fucking exploded, and so did the microwave.
Great.
The radiation density that is out in Chernobyl is deadly. We're talking about you could be walking a straight line down the street, and then all of a sudden something changes in the air, and you have radiation poisoning, and now you're sitting in the hospital for the next 2.5 months trying to get rid of your radiation poisoning, which is not going to go away. Now you have cancer. Now you're going to die in the next 6 to 7 months.
And what's worse, it's genetic too.
Mm-hmm. It's genetic.
Great.
There's a chance that your kids and their kids would most definitely get any form of radiation sickness or
So
cancer.
basically, anybody that's Russian's kind of fucked in that area.
Not just Russian, all around Central Europe. Like Poland, Greece, possibly
In the
west
UK?
of...
Well, I wouldn't say the spread's that far out, because it's
There have
mostly
been
in the
small
Chernobyl
reported
area.
cases, but
Yeah, small
depends on how
reported
far the wind
cases
can
of so small reported cases that it has leaked out, but not such a high density that it needs to be 100% worried at this current state. However, this is the greatest Soviet blunder in history. This is the world's biggest fuck up.
Mikhail Gorbachev even once said that the real reason the Soviet Union declined in 1991 was because of the events of Chernobyl.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
fucked
during
up.
the time where, when Chernobyl blew up, every country was looking at it like, what the fuck were you doing?
We were definitely not making nuclear weapons. That's absolutely not what we were doing.
And at first they tried to cover it up.
They did. Of course they did. Do you know? Listen, if you are a history buff, you want the greatest cover-up master of all time to cover up fucking everything he's ever done? His name is Joseph Stalin. Start from there and make your way back.
Mm-hmm.
You start from Joseph and then you go forward. You start back a little bit to understand who the individual is, who's from Georgia, and then you make your way fucking forward to, well, Chernobyl. And then you kind of get an idea of, oh yeah, they were super fucked. The country that wanted to beat America to space literally nuked themselves.
By accident.
Dude, that's never happened in America. I want to put that in perspective. And at least to public knowledge, the only time that we've ever truly tested nuclear weapons is, what was it, New Mexico?
Somewhere in New Mexico, yeah, some of the more abandoned areas, maybe some of the islands.
Yeah, and those locations are completely sealed off because that's where we tested the first nuclear bomb with the V2 rocket. Fucking a nuclear bomb. So in perspective, just as an example, how do I make this work? Can you pass me that fork over there?
Oh no, are we comparing fork and a microwave here?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna show you radiation frequency. So usually it can start somewhere like this. Small pips. Not too high, nothing crazy. If you're in Chernobyl, we're talking about that's your cell in your body exploding. The radiation density is so high that the cells in your body get cooked like you're inside of a microwave, and you pretty much die from inside out.
No.
Yeah. That's why this is not a joke. The Chernobyl wildfires, as I said, I'm not shocked that Chernobyl's attempting to burn itself down to the ground.
True.
It honestly, that whole place should have become rubble. Chernobyl should be rubble. There should not be any buildings or anything else left. That should be rubble at this point.
That's not good.
But so then again, it's left as a museum.
Yeah, a museum of terror.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think about it.
Dude, honestly, the worst part about it is like you have this going on now in the midst of a pandemic. A lot of people aren't going to be able to go anywhere if it goes into their city.
Exactly. Dude, people are super fucked. Like, it's not even funny. As I said, we are talking about a time period right now where, yes, honestly, it's probably the best thing in the world that coronavirus is going on. People are sealed in their homes.
Yes.
That this
Not in
could
Russia. Not in Russia.
Not in Russia. They don't listen. But
No, I'm saying. Well, actually, I'm wondering if they should listen right now, considering I don't know. You got radioactive winds coming directly at your city.
well, that's the whole thing. Radioactive winds does not mean that it can penetrate the structures that are in there, depending on the age.
Yet. Yeah.
Can I tell you what the greatest way to beat radiation is? Lead. The way to beat radiation is Superman.
Lead.
One of Superman's weaknesses of lead.
Get a bunch
It's
of lead
crazy.
in. Just drop a bunch of lead in Chernobyl. Then problem solved.
Oh my god! Actually, that's not a terrible idea.
Well,
You heard it here first. Indy Force autistic fucknut J-Hebert says, "Bring a bunch of lead to Chernobyl to fucking stop the wildfires."
James, have you seen the containment building that they finalized last year? There's a whole structure, a whole dome around Reactor 4 made out of lead that they had like what, $7 billion that they raised up to make this project?
Jesus.
It is said to contain all the radiation for the next 100 years.
Which by that point, radiation time that should literally be gone in 100 years.
It's gone.
Create a lead creator for the next.
So some idiot decides to go there and create another nuclear disaster. At this point, Earth just say, "All right, you know what? I've had enough."
Listen,
Dude, I
want to put this in perspective. I want to put this in perspective because I know a lot of people are going to try to make this comparison. It's not comparable, but some moron's going to do that. Well, what's the situation that's going on? What happened in Japan when they got hit with the tsunami? Why didn't they shut down their nuclear reactors? They did. You stupid dumbass. They did.
They did.
They sent
Just
hardworking
tsunami.
They sent hardworking men and women into the reactors. Or should I say, they volunteered to go into those reactors to keep their cities safe. Because even if they died from the radiation poisoning, they knew that their loved ones would have been okay from anything that would have happened.
Yeah, fucking shout out to those heroes, bro.
But that's the whole thing. Chernobyl, anyway, should have been encased in lead after all this. They should have been burying lead in the dirt.
And they were. All the volunteers who died, they were buried in lead.
They should. Honestly, that whole location, you cover it in lead and you just don't touch it. You treat it like a vault. I mean, honestly, I like my old man's idea that he had a long time ago.
Which is?
Go from underneath and bury the entire city underground, then cover it and bury the whole thing in lead.
Yep. Smart.
Done. Solves the problem. But anyway, let's get on to the next thing.
We weren't even talking about
little fun topic because just to lighten the mood. You remember that video you showed us from Flying Kitty, Nikos?
Which one?
Godzilla 2.
Oh, that.
My crush. That's what it is right now. Decided. I sent it to her.
Pussy.
Shut up. She ended up doing the. Remember the moment where friggin' M turns to Pac-Man? She did that.
Yes.
She did that. That's why I took the call. I didn't expect that was going to be the first thing I hear, though.
Of all the stuff that was in that video, that's the one she was quoting.
She just randomly quoted it in a supermarket when she was with her dad shopping. Yes. And her dad looked at her like, "Are you okay?"
Anyway,
picture it if you will.
So okay, I got some news.
Go.
Shoot.
So the PlayStation 5, finally we get an idea of what this thing is finally going to come out as. The problem is it's going to be in short supply this holiday season. I hate to bring the bad news, but ladies and gentlemen, your PS5 will not be ready fully yet. And I honestly think they should be pulling this thing back for another year and try to get the PS4's life extended.
Mhm.
Take your fucking time creating a new console.
Right.
It doesn't need to be every 4 years. Do it every 8. That way you have more technology. The shit looks better. You're making more money. It's smarter. Don't be Nintendo. My God, don't be Nintendo. Don't be Nintendo where it's, well, we're coming out with the GameCube, then the Wii, then the Wii U, then the Nintendo Switch.
Didn't they come out with the Nintendo Wii during the in the midst of the fucking, what was it?
Then the Wii Lite.
Didn't they
Sorry.
come out with the Nintendo Wii right when the fucking recession hit?
They came out with the fucking Wii when the Xbox 360 and the PS4, the PS3 were on, what would you say, their first year? I want to say that
Probably,
that sounds like it's relatively close. I could be wrong with the numbers, but it sounds like it makes sense, at least in my head. I'm not going to shit talk the Wii because the Wii has some of the best. I'll say this about Nintendo: quality control is like the big thing with them. No shitty games get by their fucking door most of the time. However, so yes, the PS5 and the Xbox Series fucking X.
Ugh, fuck that.
Oh, Microsoft, why do you keep doing these stupid things?
Why didn't you call it the 720? Why wasn't this
Hold
one
on.
the 1080?
PlayStation
It's
5.
a brick.
I'll-
It's a
I'll-
literal fridge.
I got the PlayStation 5. You know what? I'm gonna screen share in a minute. Xbox.
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for the PS5 because I hope that they're able to like take the graphical spectrum and go fucking ridiculous with it.
What is the Xbox console? Because I'm gonna do a side by side comparison.
You ready? I'm not making up the title. The Xbox Series X.
What a lame title.
Oh boy. And
Like, okay, you could have come up with anything
What?
in the world. You came up with it's the Xbox, it's the Xbox Series, it's the Xbox Series X. So is it going to be the Xbox Series XX? When they come up with the next version of the Xbox Series X, or is it going to be called the Xbox Series X2? Or is it going to be called the Xbox X Series V?
Bro,
Or
look at
maybe
this
it's going to just be called the
fridge,
Xbox
man.
X Series. Who gives a fuck? Why didn't you call it the 1080 and just be done with it?
oh, I don't even need to do that. Look, they already had it like in an image format.
Now here's the whole thing.
Xbox Series
I don't
X
think-
compared to PlayStation 5.
Now here's the whole thing.
The
We don't know.
PlayStation 5 almost looked like a Roomba.
That's fair. Well, that's the whole thing. We don't know if that's the full 5 yet because that's the prototype that leaked. So we don't really know if that's going to be the finalized version, at least from what I know. We'll see what happens because they haven't really showcased the PS5 really yet. They haven't really talked about too much about it.
No.
They went over the spec terms. There's a couple things. It's definitely not going to be able to beat the Xbox Series X when it comes to graphics. But as I keep telling developers, and I keep telling developers, and I keep telling developers since I was a little kid, graphics don't make the fucking game.
It never makes the fucking game.
Listen, and I'll put this in perspective. Bubsy 3D, graphically impressive game, terrible gameplay. F-Zero for the SNES, one of the funnest racing games, looks like dog shit, but is one of the funnest racing games ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Just learn from that. So anyway, yes, the PS5 has very high spectrums, and so does the Xbox Series X. Nintendo.
By the way, I put the topics in the Skype chat so I can see it while I talk to you.
That's fine.
And obviously Nintendo's going to come out with their. Oh my God! I want to make a whole video on how many fucking versions of the console that we need because we're talking about Nintendo here, where you have the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch Lite. Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's just light version.
Listen, you got the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advanced, the DS, the 3DS, the 3DS without the 3D option. Just called 2DS.
So many Ds and so many S's. Like, come on.
So many So many D's and so many S's. Sounds like a
Wait,
porno.
if it's three D's, isn't that the chick from fucking Total Recall?
You got E cups.
Anyway.
Haha.
So,
you got S
The reason why I'm talking about the PS5 right now is because Crysis, which I don't know if you boys have played. I'm not sure. I had to bring this up because it's at least to me it's a fucking super important game.
Mm-hmm.
So Crysis is getting a remaster. Could it look better?
Well, let's see it because I'm not really too familiar with Crysis.
So Crysis is okay. So you've never heard of the Crytek suit, then? The Crytek engine, one of the best first-person shooter engines in a long time. So the Crysis suit is, how do I describe it? Imagine Gordon Freeman's suit on fucking Ritalin.
Just imagine.
I
love how we're talking about could it look better yet before we just talked about, graphics don't make a game.
Think of Spider-Man's 2099 suit in the PlayStation 4 game, but the white version.
Well, actually, the Crysis suit is more closer to your Sam Fisher full body suit.
All right, to be fair.
I'm looking at some of the.
I remember it being white though. Or I could
the
be
Crysis suit. It is black with silver.
Oh, the silver. Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah, it's black and silver with red goggles. Dude, that suit's like retardedly good.
I'm looking at some of these I'm looking at some of these images. It doesn't look like it's not Final Fantasy remastered thing, but
let me take a. Why don't you screen share?
Looks pretty good.
Yes.
Why don't you screen share, good sir?
Yes. I'll screen share right now. Yeah. So no, some of these images.
James, that's the old game.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's the game from 2009. They haven't shown anything from the remaster yet. That's why I asked the question, could it look better? Because the 2009 version of Crysis is actually very good.
Oh, so to be clear, this is the 2009 version.
And it looks good.
That's the 2009 version that you're highlighting.
Oh, yes. Well, it looks very good for 2000. It does.
Crysis is one of the most beautiful looking games that could ever be on the Xbox 360 during that time.
Oh, true.
On the PC, it's fantastic. It's one of the funnest games that you could ever actually go through. The Crysis suit is up there on my list of incredibly awesome power suits, like Gordon Freeman's HEV or Master Chief's Spartan suit. Quick thing that I want to go through. Nomad, who's the main character of the first game, here's how his suit works. So you have night vision, the ability to kind of breathe underwater, sort of. It mostly revolves your power. You have armor mode, which allows you to take hits, such as a fucking rocket to the face, and act like nothing hit you. Cloaking mode, which allows you to turn invisible for a few seconds and pop motherfuckers in the back of the head. And enhanced strength mode, where I'm talking about, here comes guy, you grab him by the neck, you lift him up off the ground, you look at a house that's in the distance, and you throw him at the house at such a high velocity that he just broke the wall down.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it's not a terrible champion. Anyway. I just wanted to say it just to get his reaction.
Not that bad. Well, obviously, that's pretty dope, though. I kind of want to do that. I want to chuck somebody into a building.
Wait a minute. Hold on, honey. Could you say that? Could you say that on the stream? Could you please? Right in the video? Could you say that?
No.
So you're telling me that these brownies are not well done and cooked? Are you saying that they're ooey? Stop! Looks like I am the mayor of ooey.
Brownies.
He's flipping me off right now.
Say.
He is the master of them all. He is Spawn. He is the Hell Spawn. He is the mayor.
Just so you know, I'm gonna totally zoom in on that middle finger that's just right in Mike's face, and yeah.
Bitch. Police. So anyway, I just wanted to get into a little bit of Crysis because we are going to get into the video game talk, obviously, like most of these podcasts go into. But yeah, if you've never played Crysis before, go for it. If you're not interested in first-person shooters where you're the probably most powerful fucking being in the game, go for it. Have fun.
Okay.
I liked it. There's 3 games. They're very good.
Yep.
Are they fantastic? The combat's a little, but it's just the visual representation is fantastic. So next,
Obviously, we should do the top 5 games for next episode. Obviously.
Top 5 games? Fuck that. We'll do that now.
No, well, here's the problem. Nikos hasn't gotten enough time to play it.
I never said it was on that website, though. I'm asking you boys a personal question. What are your top 5 favorite games of all time?
And it doesn't have to be from the website, James. It can be from any game.
It doesn't have to be from the website.
All right,
So
I'll go first. So for me,
mine's gonna be weird.
least. Yeah. So for me, for least to greatest, my least, Gun. It was the game that got me into the whole Western genre of games.
You mean Red Dead the prequel?
That too. Yep. That got me in the whole mindset that eventually got me to play Red Dead. But Gun will always be like my favorite type of Western game.
Is it because you get a saber and you're able to cut up Native Americans in the middle of nowhere? Or is it the fact that you can absolutely ball shot somebody and they fall to the ground crying in pain?
That's another thing I've never noticed. When I first played the game, I had no knowledge on what to do with the game. My dad was the first who completed it. I just wanted to do my own little playthrough. What I failed to notice is that the shopkeeps was the upgrade system. So throughout the whole game, I never went to upgrade any of my items in the shop. Like, I could have bought more items from my flask that would give me more health. I would have gotten better melee weapons, dynamite to my bow and arrows. But no, I went all the way up to the Hollister boss fight with nothing upgraded.
Did you beat him?
No. My dad showed me a trick. You want to know what was the trick?
Wait for him to get close to the edge and just keep popping him in the fucking face like a moron?
No,
that's what I did.
He was chasing me around a rock, and every time he stopped, then I would shoot him in the head.
See, I got him texture glitched into the floor, and I just kept chucking dynamite at his face.
That was another thing I tried to do. Throw dynamite at him. Because I was very efficient.
Yes, it was. So, there's your first one. Let's get into the rest of them.
So, by the way, I'm counting down by top 5. So from 5 to 1. So Gun was number 5. Number 4 was Mercenaries 2. I never got into Mercenaries 1 because it felt a little bit restrained, like not a whole lot of open world, and plus I was a little kid when I played. Like I didn't really much care about it. My dad said it was his favorite, but I never got to see why. But Mercenaries 2, it was more of an open world. You could choose your characters like from the get-go. There is a moment where you could actually see all characters in one cutscene, and the story was basic. You got to know you knew what you had to do.
I call it a low-grade Bad Company.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
It's good, but it's definitely not like Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 level of like super fucking funny.
True.
It tries, but it's just not that level. But I agree, Mercenaries 2, very good.
Very good.
Next, good sir.
Third one, Grand Theft Auto 4. In my opinion, it's like one of the more realistic type of Grand Theft Auto games where
you mean it's
immigrant
the
coming from
best?
Yeah, it's the best Grand Theft Auto by a landslide. Immigrant comes from the boat, works his way from the bottom to get to the top, has a very engaging backstory, very dark moments, like very well-written characters.
Let's put it like this. It is the best immigrant coming to the world story that Rockstar could ever do.
Exactly.
It's literally the greatest off-the-boat story you could ever make.
Indeed. And the choices, they're very interesting as well.
Because we've already had Tommy Vercetti do his whole thing. in Vice City and be the fish out of water. We've already had CJ coming back and trying to find his roots and figure out the world that he's in. But with Nico, we get a different scenario of, I've never been to this city. I have no fucking idea what I'm getting myself into.
And in the course of the game, you encounter Russian mob, Italian mob, helping out friends, take down crack dealers, drug dealers, getting chased by the cops, befriending a crooked cop, getting mixed up with an Irish mob. It's a whole lot.
Hey, listen, you love Packy and you know it.
Oh, everyone loves Packy.
No,
It's
everybody
a shame
likes,
that he's more of a one-sided
everybody
character.
loves Little Jacob. No, everybody loves Little Jacob because he's the best character in the game.
Oh, for sure. And my number 2 spot, I'm having a little trouble because this is more of a twofer. But, you know, when worst comes to shove, I'll just say both of them because I can't really choose between these two games, you know, consider the fact that they're actually part of the same story. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. God of War 3 and 2018 God of War. I just love the whole story. I just love the continuation of from 3.
You love Data Kratos.
Data
Well, here's
boy.
the question. Revenge Kratos or Papa Kratos?
I'd say both. You kind of, in order to understand Papa Kratos, you got to understand Revenge Kratos.
True. You need to understand he screams at everything that moves Kratos before you can understand the boy button.
The only disappointment I have with the game is that there is no option to whoop the boy's ass when he disrespects you.
Listen, you don't whoop the boy's ass. The world whoops the boy's ass.
Facts.
Yep.
And overall, it's just a great story.
At least Kratos isn't a full Spartan and decided to go over the edge with training the kid. And you know exactly what I mean, Nikos.
Yep.
Because there were once 2 gay cowboys who were living on the trail.
And they discovered that they could sleep with another male.
Sodomy.
Sodomy. And thus
By the way, James, that's historically accurate.
Yeah.
As he goes,
they be wild.
Well, I'm not going to question it.
Yeah. Of course, it was a fuck time for Greece. Even I didn't want to get into that history.
Nobody wants to get into that. Dude, Greece is one of those things that you go, don't want to live there, but man, the architecture was fun.
Exactly. That's why it takes me 5 years to go back, just for the architecture.
You go back, you go, that's a really nice salt column.
Wow.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Wow, the beaches are so clear and blue. All right, seen it. And of course, right before we get to you guys, my number
like Nikos, number 1.
No. You gotta do it. You gotta do it like the top 15 guy. Number 1.
Number 1.
Number
Finish
15.
the game.
Number 15. Rape Simulator. Have you ever wanted to be a douchebag on a train?
No. Let me do it because my impersonation's spot on. Number 15. Number 15. Rape Simulator. Have you ever wondered, gee, I wonder what it would be like to bone a girl without her knowing, but not want to go to jail? Well, here is your chance with this Rape Simulator.
That's a by the way,
James,
Japan,
stop giving Ubisoft an idea.
It's a real game.
Is that
anyway?
Thing?
So Nikos, you are number 1. That's a real game. I'm not. I wish I was making.
It is, James.
Blame Japan. Blame Japan.
Fuck you, Japan.
Listen,
Anyway.
James. If a game called Fucktown exists, okay, that can exist. So Nikos, number 1.
Number 1 in terms of narrative,
Story, gameplay, story,
and aesthetic.
soundtrack. Absolutely.
Last of Us.
Fair.
I got hooked into that game within a second.
I couldn't.
I understand not a lot of people could get into it, but
it's fine. I respect the game for what it does because I think cinematically it's a fucking incredible story. But for me, for my personal taste, getting into it, I went.
And I have no problem with
God,
that. Not a lot of people get into it, but for me, it just clicked one day. And even my dad, that game brought my dad back into gaming because he saw how beautiful this game was. Not just in graphic-wise, but the whole story.
Dude, you're playing as a dad who lost his kid and is now trying to find his way in the world without family. It's crazy.
It is.
And I will say this. The part that made me not want to continue playing the game, it's just a personal perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I thought combat for me, just for me, wasn't that fun to do.
I understand.
Combat was kind of the thing that kicked me in the ass more than once, and I went, and I'm good.
I've seen professional players like play on the grounded difficulty, and they play like John Wick, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna put the controller down. I'm just gonna say, nope, I'm out of here.
So James,
with that,
yes,
good sir.
All right,
you're gonna start from 5, and you're gonna go to 1. So number 5 is.
All right, so number 5 for me.
Which is
by the way, no wrestling games will be on this list.
For obvious reasons, because they're all the same.
Well, not all of them, but most are, yes.
Listen, James, what do you do in every single match? You go and pin the man. It's the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 for me, for the sheer story of it, is Split Second, because they actually, it's a racing game that's fucking awesome. Probably one of the best racing games I've ever fucking played in my life, with an awesome story of the guy is trying to basically be a TV star, and he has to go through all these fucking obstacles while racing at 255 miles per hour through every fucking track.
Question, is Split Second the one where you get a button to fuck with the environment, or is that a different?
Yes,
okay, so it is that one.
I remember playing like a test racing match at Best Buy, where all I did was press a button, and the person in front of me blew up.
Dude,
it was awesome. It's a good game. It's not a bad game. It's a very good, competent game.
I went to PAX East, the very first PAX East they ever had. So this is before they went to the convention center, and that was the first game I played. And I played that pretty much for I played that for 2 hours, because they had these play test systems for Split Second. It's fucking great.
Now your whole thing with that's why I've always recommended for you the Grid. I'm sorry, no, the Crew. The Crew, I would absolutely
don't recommend Grid to me. That's the worst I've ever.
No, Grid sucks balls. That's why I had to backtrack on that one.
Yeah,
I was going to recommend the Crew, because if you are like me and you want an open world racing game, that's where I would start. Because it's ready. You want to hear your map size? Look outside your backyard. It's the U.S. It's the entirety of the U.S. Go from California all the way up to Maine, and that's the whole game. You can go to the Daytona. You can go to the Daytona 500 track if you want.
Yay! I would totally do that. I might actually do that.
Casey, Casey and I have literally made road trips in that game. Just playing music and trying to go on a road trip, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take some Z's and just pass the controller to him.
My 4th game. So all right. A lot of these games are very retro, so there's not much story to it. Well, one does actually have story, and I'll get to that. But number 4 is Mappy. Namco's Mappy, which is your mouse, and you're trying to get appliances that a bunch of cats stole. So yeah, that's the game.
Listen, here's game stories done quick. You play as a cat cop and stop mice.
No, it's a mice cop and stopping
cats. There you go, done. There's the whole game.
Yeah, but I like it because the gameplay is fun and it's very autistic looking, and as you could tell, that those kind of games would speak to me.
Anyway, go your number 3.
My number 3 is Day of... All right, so if there is one wrestling game, I'm sorry, Day of Reckoning. Day of Reckoning all fucking day. I fucking love that game. I have a religion, and that the story mode in that game was actually very, very cool because you could either be on Raw and be a part of Evolution, or you could be on SmackDown and be a part of Undertaker's new ministry. Although the new ministry side's kind of because for whatever reason you're teamed up with fucking Charlie Haas, and you keep asking yourself why. But
listen, Charlie will take you to the title.
Apparently, and
he will,
did,
which is
actually,
fucking
that's
crazy.
The thing. It's weird.
I thought you were going to say WrestleMania 19. I'm actually shocked.
19. If we're talking story mode, abso-fucking-lutely. If we're talking,
I think 19's better as the game.
I don't agree.
19 had more stuff to do, like way more shit to do.
I guess
honestly, for me, it's probably
just because. Yeah, because you, I don't know. It's a toss up between those two.
Agreed.
I know. Basically, the GameCube series of wrestling games. So WrestleMania 19, 2 Day of Reckoning 2.
But you're forgetting about SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain, which is fucking fantastic as well.
I do love that game, but you got to remember, if we're talking, I'm talking from games I grew up playing.
True.
And of course, you got WWF No Mercy.
Yes.
Well, he actually did. Well, that's the whole thing. James never grew up playing No Mercy. I did.
No. I grew up playing. I grew up playing the GameCube. Like
that's why every single time when we go to Dodd's house, we actually play it. Dodd and I actually get into the game. He goes, "Holy fuck! This old ass '90s 2000 game is crazy. This is fucking crazy."
Yes.
Especially when you can actually press a button and jump over the person's body.
This is very true.
Instead of stopping dead in your tracks, because
that is beside the point.
Yep.
But yeah, I like those games. I guess do I put them all in? I'll just say Day of Reckoning and then the two games in between. You know what they are.
Yep.
Number 2 would have to be Super Mario World, just because I think it's the best Mario story, period. And it's
really not 64.
No.
Yeah.
I 64 was all right, but I don't know.
64 all right. It's the first 3D Mario game that's done.
Right. The story, if we're talking story, the story is just every other fucking typical story. Yes,
and
it's the same year. You have to rescue the princess. But this was the first introduction of Yoshi and that whole crew.
Not true.
Oh, well, my bad. I thought
Yoshi's Island is the first appearance of Yoshi.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about
Yoshi's Island.
I'm talking about like specifically because when did Yoshi's Island come out? What year?
A year before. Hold on, I'll do my quick Google, the Googleism that I have. Yes. So let's see. You said Mario World.
Yeah, Mario World. I know that came out in 1993. 92, didn't it? I think it came out in 92.
Super Mario World came out in... Come on, you motherfucker, 1990.
And then when did Yoshi's Island come out? Because I thought that came out on the DS, which means it would have been way after that.
Nope, I was wrong. It's 95 when that came out.
Yeah, it's the first appearance of Yoshi. And then... and they had you had to save all these Yoshi eggs on top of beating, Bowser's fucking minions, essentially his kids. So this is not just, you have to beat Bowser 100 fucking times and then thank you, Mario, but the princess is in another castle. This time you have multiple villains you have to beat until you get to the epic villain to save the princess, along with saving all these other Yoshi eggs. For Yoshi.
Then I have a counter argument.
Go.
Paper Mario.
I never been a fan of the Paper Mario series. I
got two more. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Super Mario RPG. The villain isn't Bowser. He gets added to your party.
I love RPG, but I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's I don't know.
To each their own. I'm just giving alternate things that They're all games that have a more
best
interesting
Mario story. It's not overcomplicated and it's not too simple either. I think it's like a right balance. And then the gameplay is obviously there's not enough that could be said about that fucking gameplay.
Oh shit! I forgot about Mario Galaxy. That's also fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah, true.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And then honestly, just because Smash Brothers is number one for me.
Which one?
If we're talking,
You are trapped on a desert island.
if we're talking strictly, my childhood and Brawl, but genuinely just any Smash Brothers game, including N64. So either one works for me, but I'll just say Brawl for this sake, because my list was gonna be all fucked. That's why I figured I probably should go last, but fuck it, I went second. So yeah,
Well, then again,
I'm a weird child.
Then again, you are the Mario fanatic.
Yes. Well, Mario fanatic to a point. I haven't really kept up with all the new games. Even Mario Odyssey I haven't played. So,
It's
like,
very good.
I think I stopped when I became more obsessed with wrestling, and then I kind of my love for Mario waned, and Mario was like, "Why you fucking forget me?"
I know. As soon as people hear mine, I'm gonna get some shit.
Oh, boy.
I can already hear the comment down in the fucking comment section going, "You big fat fucking nerd cunt."
Who knows? Maybe we actually like your picks.
Okay, so number 5, I'm gonna say Halo Combat Evolved.
That's fair.
It's the first-person shooter I ever owned, and it's fantastic. It's got one of the best multiplayers that you could ever get into, and the story is really simple. Guy wakes up from cryo sleep and goes and fights aliens. Then goes onto a super weapon ring that's been created by. Never mind. Then it gets complicated right after. As soon as you get onto the fucking Halo, that's where shit gets complicated. Number 4, I'm gonna say Metal Gear Solid 3. You can't get a better game. It's so fucking good. The soundtrack's fantastic. The game is super good.
A game made by God himself.
Yes. Hideo, I literally will appear in everything I make. Kojima.
Yeah.
He will. He'll find a way. He will find a way to sneak his face in the game somewhere.
I mean, he did in Death Stranding.
Huh? I'm going to say Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo / Street Fighter 4.
I understand why.
Yeah, it's one of the best fighting games you'll ever get. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is like one of the best port of Street Fighter 2, and Ultra Street Fighter 4 is the best version of Street Fighter 4. If I wanted to be that guy, I could be like, nope, fuck those games, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 all the way. Just that whole trilogy of Marvel vs. Capcom. Give me the trilogy. Fuck I. Anyway.
Fuck it, yeah. As we said, Infinite sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, I'm going to probably say Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is going to be my number 3. That game, I could play that for months, and that would be the only game I need. Batman Arkham City.
Mm-hmm.
Do I?
I mean, you
No.
don't.
Do I really?
It's in the game.
It's fucking great.
It is the best Batman story you're ever going to get. And lastly, which is a shock to nobody, Knights of the Old Republic for the original Xbox.
Fair.
/ Knights of the Old Republic 2, because I think that game is also fantastic as well. Since, ready? Knights of the Old Republic 1 took 4 years to make. Knights of the Old Republic 2, 18 months. They made a completely different game. Obsidian just went in and went, fuck. Okay. Character development. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do some of the best character development, creating, my God, 3 of the best villains in Star Wars history. And KOTOR 1 is just, it's a classic. You can't get over. Speaking of Star Wars, I have to ask you boys a question because this is a question that is important.
Okay.
Favorite film in the original saga? Now, I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, you're not going to talk about Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, or Rise of
Fuck no.
Skywalker?
No.
No.
Personally, it's not. If you like those movies, awesome. Good for you. For me personally, it wasn't good. Those
If you want us to
weren't good.
discuss about the prequels or the trilogy after the original, write it in the comments section.
Yeah, then we'll
discuss
talk about it.
if you want.
I listen. I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna say you're gonna pick one from the prequel trilogy and one specifically from the original trilogy. I want to make sure that it's split into two groups so that way we can understand. That way, the audience member that is watching this can go, I see where he's coming from. I get his choice. I may not agree with it, but I see where he's coming from and why he chose it. So that begs the question: who the fuck wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure. And then we'll take a commercial break.
I would say episode 3 of the first trilogy.
Of the prequel trilogy.
Yes. And then
Revenge of the
episode
Sith.
6 of the second of the
Oh,
episode.
so Return.
6.
So you like Return of the Jedi?
Yeah,
Okay.
my favorite. Just because I thought the 6 is my favorite overall. Period.
What's your prequel favorite?
Prequel favorites 3 because
Okay, so Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Revenge
kind
of
of
the
shocked
Jedi,
that
Return of the Sith.
I mean, not wrong.
The fuck was that?
My mom.
So anyway, Nikos, good sir. While I drink this lactated milk that's from a cow, drink milk. It's good for bones, I think. Give me blue dye and it's Star Wars milk.
Oh god, don't worry. My movie is not that. For me, it's going to be Empire Strikes Back. I think it's just the perfect sequel. And plus, it had the greatest pipe bomb ever in cinematic history.
It's the greatest fucking... I don't want to even spoil it in case if some kid comes on here and goes, what's the ending of Empire in case if I've never seen it. Boy howdy, just watch the movies. It's the greatest cinematic turnabout ever. It will always go down. It's one of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Exactly.
And your prequel.
Prequel? I'd have to go with Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
I was never...
Jedi, one Empire Strikes Back.
I wasn't too much favorable with the Attack of the Clones because I thought it was just straight up, ugh.
It's the middle ground of the trilogy that's a little... Like, as I said, the weakest movie of the prequels is Attack of the Clones. The weakest movie when it comes to story is going to be Return of the Jedi. The weakest one for the nowadays movies is going to be The Last Jedi as well.
Exactly.
It's just one of those things. And if you like those movies, you can. That's cool for you. I don't care.
Yeah. Of course, Phantom Menace was good at the time because we got to see Darth Maul, but, afterwards when we got to see Darth Maul revived again in, Clone Wars and Rebels, I just get the feeling that he was pretty much killed off due to overexposure.
Yeah.
And plus, he was doomed to fail. And to quote from Freddie Prinze Jr., he is Sisyphus. Entirely Sisyphus indeed. He is doomed to fail.
Yep. The Phantom Menace. I know. I can already hear it.
To each their own. I guess I'm not making fun of you for that.
No, I know. The reason why I picked the Phantom Menace personally is I think when it comes to structure, it's the best beginning you're gonna get for the Star Wars saga.
For any saga, really.
You get Qui-Gon Jinn with Liam Neeson. You have fucking Ewan McGregor, his first time being Obi-Wan, and he kills it. You have Ray Park being Darth Maul. It's a great movie. The pacing, it's not bad. I don't know where people are coming from. Where it's the worst one of them all because Jar Jar. That's the only reason.
I think
The only reason is a
is not only
character who
Jar Jar,
constantly
but
gets fucked over the whole movie.
I think they was because of the whole midi-chlorian issue.
What's the problem with midichlorians? They use science to figure out how the Force works.
Exactly.
Jar Jar
Listen,
fucking
not everybody can be magical space wizards, okay? That's what they are. They're magical space wizards. So, for me, it's the Phantom Menace because of that. The ending is so good. The ending bit of Phantom, Duel of the Fates, is one of the best tracks that John Williams will ever make. Even Battle for the Heroes will not be on the level of Duel of the Fates. It's so fucking good. And the choreography for that fight is fantastic. It's the reason why we have the LCC, which is a lightsaber choreography contest that happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leads into my thing, which I'm going to agree with you, Nikos. The best Star Wars movie of all time is going to be Empire Strikes Back. My God, Empire is the best movie. Empire gets everything. It has zero problems, has the best character development for those characters, and nails it every single time I watch it. And my God, just the planets. That's my other thing with Phantom. The movie got shit for the amount of CGI that's used. But let's be honest, do you really want to see Lucas go, I found a desert. Whole fucking planet's a desert. I found trees. Whole planet's covered in trees. It's a snow planet. Clouds and shit.
Yeah.
Instead, they were able to go, okay, Naboo, which is like one of my favorite planets of the entire prequel trilogy. It's a fucking
of course.
Fun fact, actually, do you know how they made the waterfall effects?
I think you told me before, but I forgot. Whoa, what was the effects?
Salt.
Salt.
They poured salt in specific patterns to make it look like the overflow, like the foam that comes from waterfalls from a high altitude. It's awesome. Such a cool idea. The fact you get to see Coruscant and it looks impressive. It's a super city. It's a gigantic city-sized planet. It's huge. It's massive. You get to see the Jedi Temple for the first time. It's the last time you're going to see Puppet Yoda before they go Crouching Tiger, Hidden Muppet. Lightsaber I have in my pants. But yeah, since we have the time, how would you guys have done this sequel trilogy?
So, like the whole Rey trilogy, you mean?
Yeah, what would you have done?
Are we talking the new movies?
We're talking about the new movies. How would you have done it? Because I know a lot of people have their own interpretations on how they would have done it. How would you have done it?
Not make the fucking Jedi a religion, for one.
The Jedi is a cult.
Yeah, it is.
They take kids from when they are born and turn them into Jedi Knights. It's just how that works.
Yes, but the way they do it is kind of...
Dude, the Force is a religion.
Is it?
It's the...
Okay,
but they make it so obvious where it was like, before it was like subtle, and now it's not. It's just like, oh, it's a religion now, and it's like...
The person that you can blame for it is the woman that goes, there wasn't enough female representation in Star Wars. I'm sorry, isn't Princess Leia like one of the most important cinematic characters of all time? Yep. Isn't Padme Amidala one of the most important cinematic characters of all time?
How about Clone Wars?
Do you not like Ayla Sakura, Asajj Ventress? Do you not like Shakti? Ahsoka Tano? Do you not like those characters?
And a lot of people go crazy for Ahsoka. It's insane.
Everybody likes Snips, dude. I don't know. But yeah, how would you personally, and that's to the person that's watching this as well, how would you have done?
Well, I know a lot of people are going to be like, they had no problems with Force Awakens. But when it comes to The Last Jedi,
The Force Awakens is literally A New Hope.
It
It's the
is.
same fucking movie.
It's
There's
just
no
the same,
differentiation.
yeah. Han Solo's movie in that is fucking dog shit.
Yeah, well, you're
I
talking to
would
the
have
wrong
done that
person about
entire
that.
fucking movie.
I mean, honestly, I understand like the whole Rey, like her journey and Finn and with Poe, but it feels more nostalgia bait.
But
We
here's
get to
the
see all these old
problem.
characters.
But here's my problem with it. It is the most. How do I say this? It is the most non-thought provoking story ever.
Yeah.
Because I don't even care. I'm going to spoil this bit because I don't give a shit enough.
Yeah.
James, do you know who Rey's dad is? I'm sorry, her grandfather?
Her grandfather.
I'll give you a hint. Vader threw him down the fucking reactor shaft of the Death Star and he lived.
Oh, yay!
Her granddad
And
is,
now,
of course, Chancellor Palpatine.
you will
Oh, fuck off!
Uh-huh. It's not even clever.
So at some point we gotta realize Palpatine boned someone.
No, well, let's
That's
be
a
honest.
fact.
Let's be honest. He unofficially inseminated somebody. We know it's true.
Or it was just a clone. Personally, and this is a problem I had with Rey.
He's done in the comics. He's already done the whole "I'm a clone" thing. That's already happened.
Yep.
I was hoping Rey would have been a clone from Force Awakens. I feel like that would have been much better.
Can I tell you what I would have preferred?
Go ahead.
She's the spliced DNA of Palpatine and Padme Amidala.
Yeah.
Which is why Luke gives her that look in the original in those movies, like, holy shit, it's my mother. Because she looks like Natalie Portman just a little bit. Daisy Ridley looks like fucking Natalie Portman just a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and Mike, can you please tell the audience who Anakin Skywalker's father was?
Isn't that
Because I
Chancellor
remember
Palpatine?
you told me years ago.
Yeah, it's Chancellor Palpatine. It's like 100% confirmed that his father is Palpatine. It's right there. It's in black and white. We all
from
knew.
The horse's mouth.
No. Can I tell you what I would have done? Can I tell you what I would have done? Sequel trilogy, and then we'll cut to commercial.
Sure.
I would have had Luke have a wife and have a son. I would have had him try to cut a little bit of the classic Jedi tendencies and do his own thing with it. I would have had him not be an isolated loner that's trapped on a planet by himself because of the fact he tried to kill his nephew. I would have had him go back to Yavin and train underneath the Masasi Temple that's on Yavin 4. The place where the Rebel Alliance starts, where he has the most nostalgia for, because that's where he gets his first medal. I would have had his wife maybe have been a member of the Empire, maybe like a hand of Chancellor Palpatine. Why not? Leia's kids become Jedi, and so does Leia. Leia becomes a Jedi as well, and Han is actually a father and isn't like just abandoning his kids, because let's be honest, Han doesn't really have that type of personality for some reason. At least mentally to me, he doesn't seem like the type of person to be like, oh, fuck this, I'm cutting and running. He doesn't usually do that.
No.
I would have also done the whole twins angle with you could totally take like the actors playing Kylo Ren. You could take Daisy Ridley and have them as their respective characters, but have them as the children of Han.
I would have just gotten I would have gotten Kylo Ren. I don't know how you can.
He's a good actor. He's not a bad actor. He's a good actor.
He's a good actor, but the way it was written in the film was edgy.
It's not his fault. It's the script. You can only blame the fucking writer of the story for why it has problems.
I mean, Adam Driver.
I know somebody out there is going, and I know somebody out there might be going, "Holy shit, that's a really good movie." What's that about? Well, you see, before the and I'm gonna just look this up before I forget, so that way I have this. Current owner of Star Wars. I just want to know her name off the top of my head.
I mean, as for me,
This will just take a second. You guys can continue talking.
sure. I mean, Force Awakens, I mean, it was okay, but, obviously some people had problems with it. But the one thing people really had a problem with Last Jedi. Now, after looking back at Last Jedi, the only thing about the movie that didn't have much of a problem were centered around 3 characters: Luke, Rey, and Kylo. I thought the development was really good. I thought that Luke's, coming to redemption with himself and, having to reconnect with Leia right before he goes is good. I thought we get to learn a little bit more about Rey's past and learn a little bit more of Kylo. The problem with Last Jedi, everything else, I did not like the whole casino side mission because it was all just pointless and it was basically just an excuse for a set the animals free chase. Their mission to find the smuggler was pointless. There was literally no reason for them to even trust him because we knew from the get-go he was working with First Order. And finally, the whole chase where all the resistance ships are going to their base and they're being chased by the First Order. And what's really stupid is the whole mutiny. Like, all Holdo could have done was tell Poe and everyone else what the plan was. But she decides to be quiet. And that results in the mutiny. Like, what logic is this? Oh,
wait, there was logic?
Okay, so I got my Google facts ready to go for who the current president of Lucas Films is, and you might actually see a pattern and trend here. And I'm quoting her, by the way. So Kathleen Kennedy, who was the producer for E.T. and Jurassic Park franchise, and is now the president of LucasArts, Lucasfilm specifically, and has been working there since 2012. Said our films would be more popular if we had the comics to fall back on. Now, I'm going to say this because it's important. The company that she works for made those comics not canon in order to make the new sequel trilogy. Now, James, all that stuff that I was telling you prior, about Luke, getting older and still have Kylo and still have Rey and do the fun stuff with that, already existed. And in the comics, it's a really interesting storyline that leads into the Yuuzhan Vong War, where Luke literally opens up every cell in his body to the Force and becomes a conduit for the Force. So Luke's wife, whose name is Mara Jade, who was the right-hand assassin of the Emperor, who was sent to kill Luke but couldn't, so Luke trained her, they got married, and had Ben Skywalker. Still fucking pisses me off. It is Ben Solo. Of course, because we had to do that.
Because he's been Solo for most of his life.
Anyway. So Han's oldest son, Han's twins, who we'll say are Kylo and Rey, just to put them in this perspective, because I want to keep those actors in as their respective characters. Kylo becomes Sith, Rey Jedi. You can still do that whole thing, and it's a way better story, because that fucking storyline is not bad. And the Yuuzhan Vong will work as an incredible backdrop of this whole thing, because they've been these fucking the Yuuzhan Vong War have been talked about since KOTOR 2. Let me explain. Actually, even KOTOR 1.
Yeah.
You mean a character whose name is Canderous Ordo. Now, Canderous is a Mandalorian bounty hunter. He fought during the Mandalorian Wars. He fought against Darth Revan. He is one of the greatest companions that you'll ever have in the game. He is your fucking tank character. He will take a shit ton of damage and act like nothing hit him. So Canderous literally says that we found a meteorite out near the Outer Rim, and when we attempted to chase after it because it started flying at hyperspeed, it disappeared past the Outer Rim and we couldn't chase it. Now, the Yuzhong Vong War in the comics, and with all the extra media and everything else that we have been planning their perfect attack against the Republic for about 4,000 years. They just had to pick the worst time period ever to go after Luke. Out of all fucking Jedis, you go and pick a fight with the Chosen One. The Chosen One, that whole thing that, George was leading towards, that there is a Chosen One in the Force, the person that has the highest midichlorian count, the one that will bring balance to the Force, that whole fucking thing, that really fucking important thing that's been in Star Wars since Episode 1 and has been talked about forever. The Chosen One, that whole fucking archetype. Yeah. Even though I'm not a fan of that storyline, it works. Mm. So Kathleen Kennedy, who is female power, feminist, by the way, I should probably put that out there. She's a feminist. Yeah. Just so that way it's out there and people know. Mm-hmm. It says there wasn't enough female. There wasn't enough female representation in Star Wars. I can name 5 off the top of my head. Asajj Ventress, Shakti, Aayla Secura, you have Snips. Oh, and who's this other character? Luke's married to her. Mara Jade. Mara Jade, who's like one of the most badass women in the galaxy. I know a lot of people are going, Mike, you're getting kind of frustrated about the situation. When your favorite character gets cut from the canon for the fact it's some dumb, moronic, stupid fucking agenda instead of storytelling. Yeah. And I'm not gonna bash Rogue One. Rogue One was a very good movie. Rogue One's the best Disney Star Wars movie out there, and I am proud to say that it's the best one. It's the best thing that they could have ever made. But James, have I ever told you about the one-man army who actually obtained the Death Star plans?
No.
So I remember distinctly from that story.
Yeah. So this is guy, right? He's been trained by Luke Skywalker. Actually, he finds the Valley of the Jedi, which is like this big old location that his father primarily keeps secret, which allows our main character here to gain more strength and fight off the Sith, to fight off the remnant of the Imperial Army. So Kyle Katarn, this motherfucker, single-handedly steals the Death Star plans. Single-handedly. This badass steals the Death Star plans all by himself, like nothing happened. Now, if you don't recognize the games he's in, James, I'm going to give you a little bit of a quick thing, if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
Ready? So Jedi Dark Forces is a Doom-inspired Star Wars game where you play as Kyle Katarn, and the first mission that you do, steal the Death Star plans and massacre the Imperials. Massacre them. They're in your way. Kyle also punches a dragon in the face and kills it. Kyle kills a dragon with his bare hands in the Star Wars canon. We're talking about the same character who fought Jarek at the Valley of the Jedi and kills him using the well of the Force inside of the Jedi of the old Jedi ruins. We're talking about a character who single-handedly destroys an Imperial fucking Star Destroyer from within.
Great.
By himself. And what do we do as an incredible entertainment product that has been making movies for the past 60, 70, 80 years? We completely cut the character out in order to make more money. We cut out one of the best characters who was in the Jedi Knight series. The character who is the fucking greatest gray Jedi in history who goes, it's not about your force powers, it's just being calm when you use them. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to go to commercial break before I start throwing something across the room because it's just, as I said, terrible business decisions are terrible business decisions. If you have any questions, please do yourself a favor and wiki all that information.
Yeah.
But we will talk to you, boys and girls, very soon. And when we come back, we're going to be doing a comparison, actually, to books. I'm kind of glad we did get the chance to talk about this. The adaptations from books to movies. And what do we think of that?
Well, I already have my pick. But yeah, we'll be right back. And take it away for our shameless plugging.
A Table from Hell with the Psycho Asylum. An Iron Man match of factorial proportions. Man
In this fight, I will melt you down to slag.
versus machine.
I calculate a 0.85% chance that you will win in your current condition.
Full Metal Mayhem. Colleen Horizon.
When you throw me into the wolves, I will return leading the pack.
Vera McGarden.
And I'll do anything to be the warrior on top.
For the Athena title. Best friends turned bitter rivals. Johnny Starr.
Don't get in the way of the star or you'll get burned.
James the Archangel.
I'm the real star of this brand.
For the international title. The Outsider Mark Young. The Executioner Michael X. For the WYW World Heavyweight title. 2 out of 3 fall.
Inside.
In a hell in a cell. WYW Immortal. Now available on YouTube.
We're putting this at the end because I'm a stupid fucking idiot and forgot. Congrats to Crypt on winning the Poppin' Challenge. You had some good schemes in there, and you deserved it. Thumbs up. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, let's be honest. Nobody,
actually, I don't know if this is
let's
gonna
be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody cares.
I cared.
I didn't.
Cared. We all no. We like some guys in there.
We like some guys in there, but that's pretty gay to say out loud.
Shut up.
It's
Okay,
true, though.
should I put this in the middle or the end? Fuck it, it's going in the middle. All right, bye.
You should put it right in the middle as soon as we come back from commercial, and then just go right back to commercial.
Here's past us talking about other nerd shit. We're back, yeah. All right.
I got all my Star Wars nerdyism out of the way.
Now we get to talk about books to movie adaptations.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be more the fact that which is usually better, because that's usually the fight that we hear all the time is what was better? Was it the movie adaptation or was it the actual book? Was the book better than the movie? So we got a couple examples here. The Warriors, the movie, I think is better than the book. The Last of the Weekends, you could go other way.
Yeah.
Totally forgot that Holes was a book, by the way.
Even I forgot Holes was a book.
I read it. It's okay. It's I think the movie just doesn't have the impact that the book does.
Planet of the Apes, I think the book's better.
I think the original movie is better.
Have you ever read the book?
Movie? Yeah. All right. So if we're talking the original movie, then yes, movie's better. But
we're not talking about where they're actually monkeys and not half monkey people.
Yeah.
No, it's the one with Charles Heston in it.
Yep. Where he goes, "You bastard! You blew it up! You blew it all to hell!" And you're like, "What?"
That iconic scene.
It's all super good.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings, I think.
Both. I can go both ways.
I could go both as well.
I prefer the movie version just because I'm not too much of a reader. But
illiterate piece of shit.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, the only reason why I included it in it is because there was this one specific character from the book that they completely cut from the movie.
Yeah,
that I feel like
nut hair.
Yeah. I completely forgot his name, but I remember he used to sing a lot.
For me,
I don't remember.
You know what? Two series of books you forgot that turned into movie adaptations.
What?
You mean movie?
I'll give one of them first. We can debate it. The Hunger Games. I think the books are better than the movie, straight up.
I didn't watch them.
I only watched Hunger Games. I never watched the sequels.
The movies fucking like cut off so much shit that was actually in the book that would have made the movie actually so much better and more interesting if they actually included the shit in the book. And the obvious cringiest one, Twilight.
We don't talk about Twilight, either literature or cinematic.
Yeah, they're both trash.
But you're forgetting the one book to movie that is actually on our list, The Shining.
I think the movie's better than the book.
Of course.
Which
mainly because of, Mr. I played the Joker and I'm a shiny man, wink.
What?
I don't remember his name off the top of my head for some reason.
Jack fucking Nicholson?
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. There
Are you high? Are you okay?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Hey, listen. I just took my medication, so I'm a little out of it. Just a little.
Oh, it looks like you're gonna get some silly drugs going. Those silly drugs.
Yes.
As Nikos goes, oh, that's a new voice. I can't wait to not want to hear that again.
Oh, with the snort and the lip, all the good stuff that you put down in your body. Oh, vanilla pudding.
Well, that was quick. That was a very quick topic.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it wasn't. It's just more the representation of
who we are.
How come it's a pain in the ass for a lot of movies? And I'm going to give an example for one. The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Do not represent the book in the slightest. It's not that hard. It really isn't. I mean, yeah, I know somebody's going to sit there and be like, well, you're not going to talk about Game of Thrones? That's a TV series. It had more time to do stuff. It's a completely different story. It's a completely different animal. And here's the difference. Here's the difference. Lord of the Rings may have had a long-ass ending, but at least it didn't have 8 seasons, and the last season was fucking terrible.
Yes.
And plus, A Song of Ice and Fire is actually better than the show already. I mean, you can go. So you have so many theories in the book series, like so many theories, so many complications, so much of the characters that a lot of the show doesn't even include. Like, I mean, of course, I'm not gonna spoil all of it, but if you read the book, or in fact, if you go on this YouTube channel called The Order of the Green Hands, those guys talk a lot about different theories that are in the books that are pretty interesting and stand out more than the show. And even the author himself said that the ending of Game of Thrones Season 8 was garbage, and his book that he's currently writing, though we don't know when it'll ever be released, says it's going to be a far cry from the series ending.
It should be. Honestly, it should be like, you know what? I've had fucking enough time to go. We'll see what happens. Because this whole thing, all the way up to season 7, it's not terrible. I mean, I think that the Game of Thrones kind of drops after season 4, personally.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was like season 5 took a really turn for the worse.
Yeah.
But here's the one thing I want to say. If we're talking about like the Warriors, are we talking about the actual book, The Warriors? Or are we talking about the sea? The sea.
The sea.
Oh!
Stop it.
A quote that has haunted my mind for years.
I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I'm the reason for that shit. Oh, God, what's that from, actually? What's the original Greek story? Because I know it's not Jason and the Argonauts.
It's not Jason. The name is fading away from me. It's basically Greek army who just defeated another army, like, somewhere across the desert. They try to go back. Yeah, they try to go back, and eventually they stumble upon the ocean. And that's when one of the soldiers points out the sea. I could actually look it up.
Yeah.
on my phone real quick.
James, how about while he's looking that up, we talk about another movie series as well, the MCU. We're coming back to the MCU, folks, because we got some news.
Yes, Hugh Jackman wishes Wolverine was in the MCU. Don't we fucking all? The X-Men in general, and Deadpool included. Can we just say all of that fucking area?
I'll say this because it's one of those things that I think is a travesty. I'm going to quote him a little bit here. If 7 years ago that Disney Fox thing happened and the X-Men were able to join Marvel had happened, I would be like, oh yeah. But I know it was the right time for me to leave from the party. And not just for me, but for the character. Now, here's the problem. And I think people can agree with it.
Yeah.
If you're Disney and you needed a property and you needed a property quick, they should have grabbed Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as fast as they could. What's the last Fox movie you ever watched?
None. I can't tell you. I really can't. And look, it's like the only one would have been the X-Men series.
And they completely fucked that completely up.
It would have been, yeah, and they completely fucked it up. And the only good part of that was Hugh Jackman.
Agreed.
Where, oh my God, could you imagine Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine in the MCU? The story would have been better.
Here's the whole thing. If you have Hugh Jackman and he's playing Wolverine, you have Patrick Stewart and he's playing Charles Xavier.
Oh, he's so good.
Fucking Magneto.
Yes.
Power is literally, hey, instead of bolting your hand, I made it flat and put it into your skull and expanded it.
Mm-hmm.
Want to see me? You sucking on a lollipop?
Yes. Don't at me.
It's like somebody's a real sucker.
Haha. Hey, look, man. I like my lollipops, okay? I'm still a child at heart.
So what you're saying is you like the big, bright red thing to go into your mouth and send you to 5'10".
Not Shawn Michaels.
It's okay, man. Give it Guy Fieri flames. You're all
Did
set.
you find anything, Nikos, or no?
Nah. Basically, it's just a Greek soldier from a war who tries to, after he finished fighting, goes back, he finds the sea, yells out, the sea, and,
Oh!
Yeah, that.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Oh
well,
my God!
Moving on to Hugh Jackman.
Didn't we do that on fucking 3rd of July last year?
No, we actually did that. I remember you were playing Half-Life 2, and you just started saying that when we found that dune buggy.
Oh, because we got to the actual beach section, and I looked out at the sea, and I went, "The sea, the sea." Oh. Hey, hon. Question for you, sweetheart. Why are you fighting a guitar plucking fucking Eminem? Why are you fighting Roach out of all people?
I'm not. It's just the guitarist.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna. So that way the boys know what the fuck I'm talking about. James, you have a cut to make.
Or you can screen share.
Guitarist Sean.
Wait, Sean McMillan?
No.
Played guitar.
All I heard was Roach, and I'm like, oh, she's fighting Roach already?
No, I'm playing Ruby.
Oh.
I'm about to face Watson.
I do not know who that is.
Don't worry about it. She remembers it, so... Oh, my...
That's him.
Goodness.
Share a screen.
Oh.
Share it.
My gay... Oh, my gay goodness. Look at this fucking travesty of a human being.
Why is May in the game? Damn it!
Because she is in the game
Because she's the main character, the female character.
she's the main female version character.
Horace Dalton.
I'll be honest with you. The only experience I've ever had with May is on the cartoon, and I always found her annoying on the cartoon.
On the cartoon.
You suck.
But anyway, there you go. All right, cool. All right, as we were, Hugh Jackman. Let's get back to that.
The Jackman of Hugh. He's huge and he's a Jackman. He's Jack Huge. Huge Jack, Jack a huge man.
All
Yeah,
right,
Huge.
you want to read this
Hugie,
article?
Spoogie,
I posted it in the
McGoogie,
chat
Hugie.
because
I already
the
just
IGN article.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, because you do good reading. Then
It's already in the thing. Go right ahead.
you are the most.
I am the designated reader.
Yes. You know how to.
I
read,
am.
and I just suck at reading. So. Or at least I suck.
You want me to screen share or just read it as is?
Read it as is.
All right. So, posted on IGN on April 16th by Jim Vejvoda. Hugh Jackman on the MCU rebooting Wolverine. It's too good of a character not to. Jackman likely wouldn't have ended his run with Logan had there been a real chance to join the MCU back then. Hugh Jackman has put the character of Wolverine behind him and is at peace with another actor playing the iconic X-Man in the future, although he does wish the X-Men had joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe back when he was still playing the role. He says, and I quote, 7 years ago that Disney Fox acquisition and X-Men joining the MCU had happened, I'd be like, oh yeah, but I knew it was the right time for me to leave the party, not just for me, but for the character. End quote, Jackman told the Daily Beast. Somebody else will pick it up and run with it. It's too good of a character not to. The actor who played later Wolverine in 2017's Logan conceded.
That's exactly who that was. My dudes, I think I know exactly who that character is from Pokemon Ruby.
Oh, God, who?
He's Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yay.
I was hoping you would say Seal.
Think about it. He's blonde. Wait a minute. He's blonde. He's shirtless. Put that motherfucker in underwear and he's Flea. You see, Brian, you gave me fleas. And then it just shows Flea coming in and shredding the... Yeah, I've already seen that family.
Yeah. To continue.
Anyway, yeah, so... I don't know. I really wish that Jackman decided to join the MCU. I wish he took his time to get in. But hey, if they find a new actor to play Wolverine, please make sure that he's 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Jackman was 6'2".
No, right.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah, he genuinely needs to be short. So,
yeah.
If you want to
next,
continue.
Oh, speaking of Marvel.
Oh boy.
Marvel fucks up, boys and girls.
Before do we? What would people want Hugh Jackman or somebody else playing Wolverine? If they
I would rather have somebody else. Jackman's played the character enough. I got the rated R Wolverine movie. I'm good.
I mean, we all did, so it was perfect. So now someone else has to step up their game.
Exactly. I'm good. I got
the
what
best
I want.
Wolverine
right now. Give me a minute.
Just looks up 5'8" actors that look badass. Hold on, actually.
Well, you got Robert Pattinson playing as Batman.
Yeah, and actually, he looks like straight up like Batman, so it's fine.
Yeah, and I've seen works of Robert Pattinson that's not Harry Potter and Twilight because he's actually a really underrated actor, and I feel like he could perfect his role.
Honestly, he's a good method actor. I mean, he's been in some really good stuff, so I'm not going to give him shit. So,
can we agree that Patrick Stewart still has to play?
And Stewart?
Yeah. Stewart has to
he's
play.
in his own show now, which kind of
but I mean, if they go into the MCU, he's
if Captain Kirk does not show up in my motherfucking X-Men movie, I am gonna be super pissed.
He's too. You can't replace him. He's too good. Now
My
we move
choice.
on to this other.
My
Marvel.
choice for Wolverine is Harry Potter
Daniel Radcliffe.
because he's under 5 feet. Kidding,
You're
he's
not
under
wrong.
5 feet.
You know what the problem is, though? He would literally have to do what Hugh Jackman did and get rid of his fucking accent.
What you mean is he's got to bulk up too.
Yes.
And
yes.
plus,
He's gotta stop looking like a weeb. Yes.
Plus, a lot of people. I mean,
You.
if any of you've seen Guns Akimbo, it could be a step up for him. Like, I don't know if you know the movie. It's from that photo where Radcliffe has like those guns to his hands and wearing the fucking monster shoes. It's basically that, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just not going to see it that way, where Daniel Radcliffe has to play Wolverine, because he's been in so many other movies that you would recognize him just like that.
See, that's the problem, is that Jackman fucking has the look like super duper down.
He does.
You know what's
Yes,
crazy?
does.
The one thing I have heard, and a lot of people have asked the same question.
Mm-hmm.
What if Patterson decided to go as Wolverine? He's got the look. He can make it work. He's not super tall.
I would not have a problem with it. Either Batman or Wolverine.
Well, I'm not the only one that straight up is looking at fucking Harry Potter and going, yeah, you know what? Give him the claws and a cigar and we'll see what happens. Make him an average smoker.
Okay, tell you what. If you want, make Patterson as Wolverine, and for Batman, bring back Christian Bale.
Listen, if you're gonna have anybody play Wolverine, it's gonna be Tom Hardy.
Is he under 5?
He's tall, but he's not super duper tall. That like fucking War Machine would look like really tiny next to the man.
I'll be honest with you, Nikos.
If any of you sons of bitches say Jason Momoa, I'm gonna kick somebody in the teeth.
No.
Oh no.
Nikos, you know what I say to that with the Batman? I'm sick of the whole I talk like this when I'm Batman voice. But
I think it's just,
and I think Mike
the
can
Batman
agree with
I
me
grew
on
up
this.
with, basically.
Mike can actually agree with me on this. I think the best actors, at least in this generation, to ever play Batman was Ben Affleck.
I disagree.
Really?
No,
he's a good Batman. It's just the fact we didn't get to see a lot of it.
I think the little bit I did see, I was impressed, to be honest.
As I have said, and I'll say it again, we'll see what happens more than anything else. But I want to see where they're going to take Patterson's portrayal of Batman, where he doesn't have the super cool car yet. He's still, trying to figure shit out.
So Patterson is Batman. Is this like Batman Year 1 that they're planning on doing? Year 2?
He's in his second year, so that means he's taking on primarily the crime syndicate in Gotham. Because his first year was trying to get himself out there.
I see.
You have to spend your first year being Batman to get yourself out there and stop the criminal menace. Like, you got to start small before you can start building towers.
So does this mean he's gonna encounter the League of Owls?
No, he's not going to encounter the Court of Owls. That's way later.
Court of Owls.
Like, that's if they're doing the timeline, and I hope they do it correctly. Way in the that should be way later in the future. The Court of Owls is when Damian Wayne fucking is
the Batman.
No, dummy. That's when he's Robin. It's when Damian's Robin.
Right.
Yeah, Damian was Robin.
My bad. Sorry.
I mean, Damian has.
There's too many Robins. Okay, I can't keep track of all of them.
There's only 4 of them.
Four too many.
Oh yeah. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Damian Wayne.
4.
Done. 4.
Oh, and also, what was her name?
From The Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
It's been a while. I would have to rewatch that movie again.
Yeah, same.
Let's reread the comics. It's been a long time. How many Batgirls are there? Well, I can name 2 of them. Barbara and Cassie Kane. Fucking...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, Barbara
But
was like,
anyways,
I don't want to be crippled. Or no, isn't she crippled?
Oracle isn't going to appear in the Patterson film. At least that's what I'm hoping, is that they don't decide to go, oh, but the Joker thing, the Joker already shot her in the spine and crippled her for like the rest of her life. I hope they don't go that level, because I'll be kind of like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you know who should play Wolverine? Danny DeVito.
Oh.
He's really short. He's really short. He can make it work.
Well,
yeah,
if that's the
Mark, I
case,
can
then we
see
got to
it.
make the leader of the X-Men Larry David.
No, the leader of the X-Men is Jet Li.
God.
Okay. Oh shit.
Down
my speaker.
Oh, fuck. You know who would play Wolverine good? Scott Kane.
Scott Kane.
Name escapes from mine.
You may know him from two of his favorite actors are Sean Penn and fucking Marlon Brando. He was in Ocean's 11.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would work.
Yeah, because here's the whole thing, and I have a quote from him. I've always thought the sexy man should always play Wolverine. Which is super funny.
Okay. Moving on from that.
Fit like in the comic.
Well, he is 5'5", so it would work.
I know we're delaying the inevitable on this next thing, but we might as well just get to it and get it over.
I wouldn't really delaying the inevitable. We're literally going to talk about the worst fucking Marvel creation ever. So
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
go over it, James. The images are in the chat. I put them in there. At least it's either this one or it's on the private chat between you and I. That's where it is.
Well, I have it right here, and I'm just gonna.
Let's screen share this travesty.
Fucking dokey.
Yeah.
Here we come to kill ourselves over bad characters. Okay, so let's go over this.
Nikos, if you could, read the article while I have this travesty in front of us.
Can I say one thing that's really important before he reads it?
Go ahead.
These two characters are non-binary gender. Now you can continue reading.
Okay.
You'll see why. You'll see why.
So this is on the article Bleeding Cool, correct?
Yep.
All right. This is the title. How do you do, fellow kids? Meet Marvel's Gen Z new warriors. Snowflake, screen time, safe space, more. Marvel's Outlawed in stores today sets up a new status quo for the Marvel Universe, which is suspiciously similar to the status quo of Civil War, except this time it's only heroes under the age of 21 who are outlawed if they don't follow the rules of the new Underage Superhuman Welfare Act. We heard all about that in an article on Bleeding Cool earlier today, in which Bleeding Cool rumormonger-in-chief Rich Johnston somehow managed to sink to new low by...
Time out.
Sure, go ahead.
What age was Peter when he started being Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe?
17.
15, ladies and gentlemen. He was 15 years old when he got his superpowers in the Ultimate Universe. Continue.
I knew he was underage.
Yeah, he was underage, but guess what? He was still a fucking superhero. So guess what? That whole thing, retarded. Continue.
Sink to a new low by expressing support both for the act and for Iron Man's side in Civil War 1. For shame, Rich.
For shame.
In any case, one of the spin-offs from Outlawed will be a new Warrior series, which we saw a preview of over the weekend, in which the old New Warriors mentor a team of new Warriors, all members of Generation Z.
I thought they meant the new nude warriors. That'd be awkward.
Yeah.
It's pantsless and topless.
Generation Z are the generation succeeding millennials, born in the late 90s and early 2000s, and teenagers today. You may be familiar with them from the long popular phenomenon of older generations lumping them in with millennials, as they use the latter term as a catch-all insult toward younger people, or from the more recent but delicious phenomenon of Gen Zers lumping millennials, some of whom are now pushing middle age, in with all other old people. If you're feeling down about the whole coronavirus thing and need to be cheered up, go and find a millennial on Twitter complaining and being told, "Okay, boomer," by teenagers. We're not saying it's a cure for coronavirus, but we're not saying it isn't either. To the point...
What is this article?
I have no idea. It feels like a blog.
What is this article?
Dude, just get to the characters because
yeah, I'm just gonna skip this whole thing.
Just get past the fucking obviously anti-Semitic nonsense. Fucking. So, who cares about his boomer juice? Anyway, continue.
So, these two Wonder Twin knockoffs are called the Psychic Twins.
No, use the correct terminology. These two are what happens when you have blueberry cherry cotton candy.
Yeah, true.
That's literally what they are. They are blueberry cherry cotton candy. So these fucking two rejected Marvel characters that look like that they came out of the late 90s are Snowflake and Safe Space. James, would you like to guess Snowflake's power?
And if not, that's okay. I can just read it here.
Just go for it, James. Give your best guess of what Snowflake's superpower is.
I don't know. Give snow to the kids on Christmas time. I don't fucking know.
No, it's even lamer. Snowflake's superpower is...
Bubbles!
A cryokinetic that can materialize snowflake-shaped shuriken projectiles for throwing.
Oh, so
she throws snowflake-shaped throwing stars.
Now, can you guess what Safe Space's power is?
He shoots bubble gum out of his asshole in order to actually be entertaining.
Materializes pink force fields, but he can't inhabit them himself. The reflex only works if he's protecting others. They're hyper-aware of modern culture and optics, and they see their super-heroics as a post-ironic meditation on using violence to combat bullying.
So
what every other superhero does.
So here's the whole thing, and this is the part that I have to say. I don't hate these characters for the fact that they are fucking non-binary gendered or they have a gender identity. Excuse me.
I hate the fact that they...
I hate these characters for the fact that they had to be that. Oh, what are we going to do for the non-binary crowd?
If they were going to do it, I would have been okay with it if they don't look at the designs.
Why do they have a vest? Why do they have a vest that doesn't cover anything? Why are they dressed like somebody's ugly gym cousin?
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just
the 21st
stereotypical. It's stereotypical.
I got one better for you.
Go ahead.
What is up with these motherfucking Static Shock villains?
If you want, just put Static Shock into the canon
of a different company. But all I'm trying to say is these designs are terrible. I don't get what's going on. They look like rejected X-Men that aren't supposed to be in the fucking canon. They look like that they would glow in the dark at night. They look like fucking Cyberpunk 2077 puked.
And then there's the other fucking characters too.
Be negative. Oh my god, that story is actually good, but the character's terrible.
Dude.
The gay vampire.
The new warrior.
You
know what the problem is? It's the same thing. We've said it with wrestling. We'll say it with comic books. Anything with new in the title.
Yeah, but the original New Warriors were super cool. We're talking about Nova, dude. We're talking about Cannonball, Night Thrasher. These characters are fucking cool. B Negative. Here's B Negative's story. After giving a blood transfusion by fucking Morpheus for some reason, Michael Morbius. I don't know why Michael Morbius out of all the fucking people. This individual gains superhuman vampire powers, but also just normally ages like a normal person. So as I like to say, it's shitty Blade. It's just terrible Blade. Oh, screen time. Oh man, it's his persona.
A meme-obsessed super teen whose brain becomes connected to the internet after becoming exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas.
Okay, so that sounds like a 19 fucking 60s storyline idea. Oh no, wait, you're missing the best part about his superpowers. What about his superpowers, Nikos? Oh yeah, here it is. He's connected to the internet and he believes that he is a super genius, but all he really does is Google everything. So you know what he's a representation of? Every motherfucker that's on the internet.
Yep.
And I think, Mike, you brought this up like a week ago or a few days ago.
He's got the powers of fucking Freakazoid. He's got the same powers of Freakazoid in the fucking opening lyrics of Freakazoid. It literally says he goes into the internet, gets sapped in cyberspace, and he becomes Freakazoid. He's got the same fucking power origin as Freakazoid, and that character's better. Now go on to fucking Dora the Explorer when she gets added with the chocolate cake. Listen, look at fucking Chubbs McKenzie here, okay? I am supposed to be terrified of Miss Backpack with two gigantic glowing nipples that are attached to her body. This character design is terrible, and I know somebody's going to sit there and go, well, you don't like fat characters. I like playing Bob in Tekken. Well, you don't like fat women. What? No, I don't like it when my fucking colored printer explodes and makes a character. She's fucking Dora the Explorer. She's got a magical backpack that pulls out. Listen, I told this to James. I'm going to give this as an example.
Yeah.
A Sentinel attack is happening in New York City. You have Spider-Man, you have Wolverine, you have Jean Grey, you have Iceman, you have all the X-Men, all the cool ones, including Storm. And the only person that can save the day is Trailblazer. And while Wolverine is cutting a Sentinel up and Storm is causing fucking hurricanes and tornadoes, she's too busy pulling cell phones and bananas out of her fucking bag.
It's actually a magic backpack, which is actually also a pocket dimension with seemingly infinite space, from which she can pull out useful or random objects. It's not always under her control. This is the best part. She claims to get her power from God.
Not the one you're thinking.
Not the God you're thinking of it.
Wait.
Go ahead.
A big pink ball of a person that has infinite space inside of itself. James, they made Kirby. It's fucking Kirby. It's Kirby. That's Kirby.
How is Marvel not getting any lawsuits from this? I already see 2 lawsuits.
You know what this looks like, hon? This looks like a background character that would have appeared in Batman Beyond. This looks like some fucking Batman Beyond reject character design for a clubber.
Oh, they're terrible. They're all.
Look at the boots. Go back to our boots. Go to the boots. Look at those bright yellow fucking rain boots. James, that's like me going, I have to put on my secret secret identity.
No, what's worse than that is she has a brick green.
You can't stop me. My secret identity will be intact. Oh no, it's gone. So let's go over the designs. Can we go back up to Snowflake and fucking shit?
Of course.
Can we go back to Snowflake and Super Monkey Ball?
Yeah.
That's literally what the characters. Okay, so let me put this in perspective. This Snowflake shoots cryokinesis snowflakes that are like shuriken.
Yeah.
Here's a fucking snowflake. There.
Let me put it like this. Can you name another Marvel character whose power is ice?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. What's his name?
Wasn't one of them Ice Dagger? Or am I thinking of a different franchise?
No. His fucking name is Iceman.
My laptop.
His name is Iceman. He uses ice power.
Figures.
Shaking my laptop.
Woman, I'm gonna shake you. Safe space. My power is to give you bubbles.
Pink bubbles.
Give me a minute.
Protects you.
Give me a minute.
It's the equivalent of blowing Hubba Bubba chewing gum.
No, good sir. Allow me to pull something.
Go ahead.
This will just take a second to be 100% honest.
It's not easy. Loser. He's new, so we hate him.
The hell's that?
Nobody seems to be. Wow, was the marketing guy away from work that day?
There we go.
That's like the most unimaginative name I've ever heard for a product. It's like calling Transformers changey thing. Bubbles and it's new from Weymouth. Fucking bubbles.
There we go. The best I could coming up with Bubble Thing. This fucking character is the equivalent of Bubble Thing. It makes bubbles. The best thing that they could come up with is a guy whose superpower was a gum that was in Codename Kids Next Door. Prove me fucking wrong.
Holy hell.
Can we go to B negative? Can we go back to the annexed Batman design?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stuff. Why does he have Batman triangle blades on his boots?
Because they really like Batman.
I have a skin tight white bodysuit and ear piercing. What the fuck am I looking at? Oh my god, it's like saying edgelord 6 times in a mirror, and this is the thing that pops out.
Yep.
Except when it pops out, I swear to god, it comes out and goes, "So, I hear that you said my name 6 times in a mirror fast. I've come to drink your blood." Oh, wait a minute. Is that gluten? Are you putting gluten in the hootin'? Are you high?
Screen time can suck a dick.
Screen time looks like a rejected Code Lyoko fucking character.
You know what he looks? He looks like Cold Lyoko meets fucking Star Trek.
No,
I was gonna say he kind of looks like Ben 10.
That's what I was gonna. You mean Flea? You found Flea. Good for you, man. It's the Flea. So,
what if he's the Flea?
James, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you look up the original New Warriors?
No. Oh, God. Okay. Original.
Marvel Comics New Warriors.
No. Yep.
There you go. There they are. All right. No, go two to the left.
Well, fuck that.
Because we don't want that comic cover. That's not 2 to the left. That's 1 to the left. That's the second. Yeah. There's your team.
Yep.
You got the power of the Centurion class member of the Nova Force. You have 1990s addiction fucking Night Thrasher who uses a skateboard and fights with batons. You have Firestar. You have Cannonball. These character designs are not terrible.
They're not.
So what alcoholic, spastic fucking moron sat there? What two spastic fucking morons, Nikos, made these characters? Made these brand new, super powerful, awesome characters.
Wait, are they...
They're in the back.
They with... Don't tell me. Do not tell me. Do not tell me that Nova is teamed with these rejects.
They're the new Warriors.
As well says the article. The new
Warriors. Centurion Class Nova, one of the coolest Marvel characters ever, gets completely sacked up with 5 fucking rejects of somebody's shitty OC deviant art account.
Nope. Getting this off my computer.
Now, Nikos, can you do me a favor since you have the article up on your end still?
Yeah.
Who are the 2 artists that came up with these grandiose designs?
The artists.
They are whoever came up with the characters in general. Redo the backstory, redo the fucking art, redo everything.
So,
just don't do the characters.
They're
hang on.
trash.
36-year-old boomer writer Daniel Kibblesmith and 37-year-old artist Luciano Vecchio.
Okay, so really quick, I'm going to just have you keep it like that. Both of them have only worked on comics that are based off of cartoons.
Yes.
So what the fuck do they know about what kids want to see as the next Marvel superhero?
I guarantee you, people that are Gen Z that are non-binary would look at these 2 in. I know people.
James, you are looking at.
I know people that go by non-binary.
James.
That would shit all over these designs and shit on this backstory.
James. Matt was the one that brought these characters to my direction.
Oh boy.
Eldridge was the one to point me this way. I didn't even know these things existed until he brought them up. This had the social justice and anti-social justice warriors pissed the fuck off that these things even exist.
Of course.
Because listen, it is okay to have storylines where you talk about things that are a problem. Yes, Hank Pym in the comics beat his wife. And it was to show that domestic violence can happen to anybody, even individuals that have power. These things can happen. You can have gay characters. I mean, look at how many times they fucking Ultimate did that, such as Wolverine and Hercules and the Ultimate.
This feels like they wanted to just do what they had to do to reach the LGBTQ, so they didn't put in any effort. I literally can name 5 backstories.
They already have that character, and her name is Captain Marvel. And she is my least favorite thing in the world. And I know somebody's going to sit there and go, but if she was Miss Marvel, you loved her. Yeah, because when she was Miss Marvel, she gave Rogue her powers, one of my favorite X-Men characters.
And now we have a new Miss Marvel. So.
Now we have a new Miss Marvel, and now we have fucking... You know, I can't... Listen. I'm going to give this as an example. When I grew up reading the comics as a kid, the Clone Saga was a thing. Superman has died in the comics. Batman was having his awkward runs going on. When I was reading all this shit you have... When I was a kid, I was reading Hush, the Batman story. I was reading fucking The Dark Knight Returns. I was reading Kraven's Last Hunt as a kid. I was reading Maximum Carnage. I was reading some of these incredible storylines. And the problem comes in when you can tell that the creators just don't give a shit.
Yep.
Here's the problem, and here's my issue. And here's my issue that will forever continue. Stop trying to please everybody. That is how you...
No more of this representation shit.
You know what? No, I don't agree with that. I'm fine with representation if you do it right. They didn't do it right.
James, does it help that... Let me ask you a question. Does it really help the comic if Wolverine and Hercules are a couple?
No.
Or do you just ask the question, wait, what? What? Why? Because Wolverine has had history of loving women, like, for the past 200 years of his life being in relationships with women. Or, I don't know, maybe be Iceman. Hey, it's Iceman. I heard you're gay. I'm glad, dude, it's okay to come out while Iceman's in the corner going, hey guys, he's gay. Yeah, all those women he dated, they were beards. No, it's okay, guys. No, don't worry about it. Hey, listen. You are now a part of a line where you and most of the Ultimate Marvel Universe really do like coming out of the closet. But it's okay, man. We're here for you. We're here to support you. I love your decision. That's a good one. Peter, stop. Peter, it's not true. You hear that, guys? Kitty pride. No relationship. Yeah, I guess he just looked at it and went, ew, what's that thing? Is that what a vagina looks like? That's scary. In the end of this whole thing, it is okay to make a bad character as long as you admit it's a bad character. But when you attempt to cram a new IP, a new idea, a new design, a new retelling, just make sure it doesn't suck.
Yep. And it
doesn't help it.
And people from the LGBT side and the non-LGBT side can agree. These characters are fucking shit.
So I'll say this as my last piece on this whole thing.
Yep.
For a person that likes Marvel, for a person that likes wrestling, for a person that's a big gamer, I don't care if you think that the representation of the character is fantastic. It's fine. You can have that opinion, and your opinion does matter. But here's where I'm going to say this. If the story is terrible and it makes no sense, did Iceman have to be gay?
No.
No, there was just no point of doing it. It was just to do it. And that is lazy storytelling.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indy Force podcast, where we try to end the show off with some good grounded stuff. So we're going to end this off the way that we're supposed to, which is me taking this fork and putting it into my eyeball.
No. Don't do that.
I need maximum damage.
No.
Maximum damage.
Listen, I know those characters with bad designs and bad backstories, but you don't have to stab yourself in the eye over it. Let's talk about the fact that we're actually trying to we want our tournament scene in Massachusetts back.
We want to be able to go to tournaments and not look like, well, that we don't want to look like the new Warriors. We don't want to
new Warriors.
They call them not the new nude Warriors because that'd be an awkward situation. They kind of appear and keep going.
New cubed. The new Warrior. No, it should just be called the Warriors. The Warriors new cubed.
Oh yeah, I got a better idea. Terrible decision by two talentless fucking hacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if they have a problem, they can tweet me. I don't give a shit. They can block me on Twitter.
They probably will.
What are they going to do?
I don't like when you offend my work.
How dare you call my artwork robust and terrible? How dare you look at that thing and call it droll? How dare you look at my art and call it a big fat pile of shit?
But my mom thinks it's great.
I put this up. My daddy put it up on the fridge, but it took him 20 years to come back with cigarettes.
Yep.
Listen. I'm a nerd at heart, and I will forever be a nerd at heart.
Yes.
It just pisses me the fuck off when these things go through. Stan Lee would look at that character design and go,
Stan Lee,
Stan
Lee is rolling in his grave.
Stan Lee would just appear from the heavens right now and be like, okay, which one of you whippersnappers needs a beating?
No, he would be like, which one of you whippersnappers do I have to whippersnap my fucking hand across your face if you keep making these terrible designs? Stop making everything neon. It's not 1983 anymore. Hey, do you remember when Superman had a mullet and everybody went, it's mullet Superman, and nobody cared? Hey, do you remember the time when Batman used to wear all black? Oh, how about the time when he wore black and gray? Hey, how about the time where he was wearing blue and gray? Oh, no, he was just Batman. Hey, do you remember that time when Spider-Man decided to give up his relationship with Mary Jane in order to save Aunt May and reset the Marvel Universe? Hey, do you remember when the New Warriors happened? No, I don't.
I don't.
Me neither.
This is worse than the Clone Saga. This is literally worse than the Clone Saga.
That's all we're gonna do is just shit on the New Warriors. I think we've done that enough.
Listen. The new Warriors. The new Warriors.
Hi, Timmy.
Listen.
You okay?
Oh, by the way, there's a part in that article of the original thing that's hilarious.
Yeah.
They go non-binary. You know what's the second sentence?
What?
Snowflake, she... Marvel Comics. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Snowflake, she... anyway, so Massachusetts tournament scene. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a huge fighting game nerd. I am probably the biggest fighting game nerd that's out there right now. That's such a fucking... Okay, let me reel that one back a little bit. I'm the biggest fighting game nerd in this group of people right now.
Yes.
I'll say that.
This group of people.
This group of people that are right in front of me, right? Well, not right in front of me, on monitors that I can see with my eyes and poke them in the face, and they can't do shit about it. What the fuck? Did you just give me pretty eyes? You fucking gay fairy? What the hell is that shit?
I'm a part of the new Warriors. Couldn't you tell?
It is me, Prissy Fairy Dancer. I'm the next Native American character in the long line of Native Americans. Apache Chief. Nay, fuck.
Okay, night.
But no, I miss the days where we would go into our local youth center and play fighting games for fun. And we want to do that again. And we want to do it on a really cool level. So we might start it up in a big way. Who wants to join us, basically? Let us know in the comments down below.
If you're from Massachusetts, we are attempting to start the tournament scene in Massachusetts because it's kind of been asleep for I don't know, a couple of years now.
Too many years.
And we want to try to get that community back here. The FGC is needed back in Massachusetts right now during all this fucking nonsense. So yeah, write a comment. Fucking send me an email. I don't care. If you can find my email and send me an email, I'll be shocked.
I don't think they know your email.
They'll find it.
Tweet Michael X at Hell's Warrior 25. Is it?
I don't know. I don't know why we put the 25.
Not even you know his email.
Not even I know my email. Is it the first one or is it the second one with the periods?
Let us know what fighting games you like, and maybe we'll start a tournament scene is the point. I was thinking we could do Brawl. Or not Brawl, fucking Brawl. The new Smash. Ultimate.
Okay, you are not going to be the spokesperson of this shit now.
No.
Because I suck at speaking. But no, we might do Ultimate.
It's a hard language. Greetings, true believers.
I remember we did talk about this, and we were thinking, Ultimate. Be cool.
Yeah, why not?
It's a good game. It's not bad. It's a good game.
It's a pretty good game.
It's a good game.
It's
Alrighty.
fine.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be ending the podcast here tonight. If you're interested, let us know.
Let us know.
James and I have been playing. God, James, you've been playing fucking since SF4 came out.
Yeah, well, I played fighting games like prior to that, but I think religiously it was Street Fighter, and then I got into other games.
I know for me, it would be Third Strike. Nikos?
Fight Night Round 3.
Tournament
mode in the game room was fucking wild.
Can you really count that as a fight?
I would say it's a fighting game. I mean, considering we had Ivan Drago fighting Brock Lesnar at one point.
Yeah, but that was because
just a meat fight. That was fucking great.
Good shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed the podcast. If you're out there right now, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. wherever you happen to be.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you, folks. James?
On the J-Hebert side and on the next Indy Force. Ah! What the fuck was that? Bye!
Fuck you! Fuck you!